Alright then. Now let's go. Fallout style chat hates some other people. Monkey yeah, I wonder what is that? What is that kind of filter there? Alright, let's get to it. One moment, can go to the bathroom and we start. One sec. Right, let's go. Oh, let's go. See what we have there. Red Dead Redemption 75%. Sniper Light and some discount. And the Bugaloop. Online co-op. Dave the Diver on sale. That rocks him. Your Gaiden 25% off. Already. Not bad, huh? 3 months. I mean, why not? Why not? Seems good. I've actually been some time already. So it was like sooner, to be honest. 3 months is still quite at least something. It's a Degrichi window, by the way. Hello, sir. Pepsi back. The Classics promo sale on GOG. Oh, what's there? What's there? What's the Poogie Woogie stuff there? And the Bioshock is there too. Fubuki Zero on Whole Earth. The fuck is that? What is that? What is this? Now, just a lot of old classics and huge sales. Maybe check some. Should maybe check some. And get some more stuff in my library. Maybe. Okay, the Commander's Origins. They're mostly positive. What people are molding about, I wonder even. The remake, remaster. Several game crashes, animations glitched. Ragdoll is going bananas. Lights of Lamps don't seem to work at all in the play online. Alright, so the buggy stuff there. And old games are working so well, and this one don't even give us DLCs. Charging for DLC if you want. Oh, you again need to buy the DLCs for remasters separate. Let's see. I'm tired from mediocrity in my games. More development town full of bugs. Well, seem like overall not too bad, but most of the molding is about the bugs and stuff. All right, quality remasters there now. Digital lore book and deluxe edition upgrade. Nice remasters, nice remasters. And the price is still chunky also. With support of German government also. A German government supporting remasters now already. It looks like it. Yeah. Seems like the federal ministry even. Well, it's Calypso. The federal ministry even. No, this way. So the German government is also now on the remaster farm. Looks like. All right. Insane. Oh, so this one is the VTuber Pepposoft. Them favorite type of software there. High-speed pixel action game and control the protagonist Shirakami Fubuki and battle using swords and skills. And the weeb's going ham, I see. %% positive, damn son. Someone is actually not cubing all over the place. That'll look bad. I think like most of the fun games they got were actually kind of successful looking, alright. So got some dink fans at least, that's for sure. Hope they get compensated by that decently too. And go with the PvE extraction on that one. I mean, they could but do like better narrative and everything then too. I like how they got like the whole fucking mega cinema there going. And being like, oh yeah, you're gonna like have insane lore in the game and stuff. There's so much lore going on. Yeah, I sure gonna enjoy the lore with like some Pipiega teammates yelling in the microphone and everything, you know. Being destroyed by other team. Totally gonna be very enjoyable. Hey, Janice. CSC. Could that PvE content eventually? They probably will. I bet there will be some, but yeah. I wonder if people will wait enough. Hey, Zebra. CG need to say, huh? Damn game is not recommended except for die-hard Fubuki fans. Insane. Dropping it, dropping it. The Peppo self though. Well, that's our kind of self there. Feels Peppo, man. Feeling skeptical about Marathon and he got to play it. I think it could have a niche sorta because like there ain't that much of like sci-fi, you know, like extractions and stuff. But it's gonna be really depend heavily on like the price and stuff. Because it doesn't seem like it's gonna be some like Omega content there. And if the price gonna be very high, I'm not sure how that gonna go. Let's see, as I say. Can compete with Hunt doesn't appeal to the core Bongo audience. I don't think Bongo does give a shit about the core audience that much, to be honest. Like, considering how much money they're already shooting out for marketing, I think they kind of want to go other way around. They want to get new audience rather than core audience. I feel. Even care for the setting? Well, the setting brings abilities and stuff, right? Because, like, what is, like, Tarkov, right? Tarkov is super, like, you know, realistic gun porn enjoyers type of game, right? You have, like, all this, like, detailed system with, like, some different traumas and everything. You have, like, all those, like, insane, like, snipers from the bushes from bumfuck nowhere, you know. All that kind of stuff. You don't have, like, some sliding, you know, you don't have, like, triple jumping and stuff like that. You don't have abilities in general, right? Same kind in Hunt. Like, it's also, like, it's less, I guess it's less realistic and kind of, like, previous eras, so, like, more limitations in terms of weapons and everything, too. I'm not sure, like last time I seen Hunt basically was, like, through Ella, sort of. Same as, like, the Tarkov I seen only through some streamers, really, to be honest, and that was a while ago, so... You kind of like don't have this like sci-fi stuff with like, you know, abilities, jetpacks, sliding, healers, right? Hunt has magic now? Alright, I see. Because this one goes all out, right? You have like the invisible characters and stuff. Like this one, if anything, this one seems more kind of like dark and darker, but like sci-fi. You have like, instead of classes, you have characters, right? With their own abilities and stuff. So it could, because, I mean, Dark and Darker also managed to get the carve the niche, I guess, a little bit. But it's still also kind of, well, I'm not sure about, like, going down necessarily. One moment, let me open SteamDB, where is it? Open a different browser for that also, because it doesn't open in Chrome for some reason here whatsoever. Oh, did they also remove? No, okay. I think they removed from the from Epic or something, right? Before not gonna open even, because internet here sometimes is going like some shenanigans, I guess. One moment, can we fix it? Come on. Oh, I can open it here and darker. All right, there we go. And I can. 1,300 playing, so like I wouldn't say that is like the big success, but it's also like on their own launcher, right? On Epic, I guess on console some. I think they got mobile and shit now too, so they probably kind of like afloat, I guess, afloat. Yeah, Terbosk, yeah. Marathon is the boomer shooter, basically. Can rest people at a distance there. Did I say alright? Nothing marathon about what they showed. I mean, true. Like I haven't I've seen only like the new fan remakes, right, of the marathon. I haven't played really even. I kind of think maybe at some point in Boomerathon, right? But it did not look like any of that. That's for sure. That's for sure. Huh? You just made a movie. Like the movie that they showed was kind of nice. Like if that would be like something like single player proper, that could do good, I think. You know, reviving again, kind of like pulling something with Doom. I guess they don't have like as massive a franchise as Doom. Yeah, I see there is one. I see. Like it ain't as huge franchise as Doom, but still getting the rebirth of that and trying to get new people on board of some old classics with like such marketing. That could work. That could work. A Boomer Shooter remake, yep, but into the Extraction shooter though. You like the neon look? I don't really mind it. It was kind of like I did like the neon stuff, how it looked in the movie, the cinematic, right? That looked kind of cool. That one was like kind of stylish and everything. How it looked in game? Not sure, man. Yes, the original is on Steam. The fan remake, it's free actually too, I think. You can get that. Yeah, Prey Rebirth is a little different story there, I guess. It's a little different one there. 5.5k online it shows, I see. I mean, that probably is kind of okay for them to stay somewhat afloat and everything, so not too bad. But that's, I think, what, like, Marathon maybe should... Actually, is Grey Zone on Steam. Yeah, like... I do have a feeling like they're gonna have like probably like massive start just because it already seems like the marketing is insane, right? They got all the streamers, they flew all the streamers to check the game, right? They most likely gonna sponsor a bunch of streamers too when it's out and everything. And how long it will last? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. 80k start, float around 4k later. The thing is, like, if it's gonna be expensive as shit, then yeah. 80k and start might be kind of tricky then. People shooting on marathons art style. Like, as I said, like, in cinematic, that was nice. That was kind of cool. In-game, when they showed what streamers were playing, that was actually kind of alrighty. In action, you know, from the eyes of the player, that looked kind of like Apex, basically, you know. Like, I wouldn't really shit on it, but I would say it did feel kind of like, well, you know, that's kind of like Apex, you know, or like some other shooter like that, you know. Like a bunch of like modern shit, like Fragpunk in a way, sorta, kinda, even though that one goes a little more crazy. And some like other things. Like it's not like bad for me at least personally, right? Like it's just kind of like generic a little. In cinematic it did look good though. In cinematic it did look good. Like they managed in cinematic to make that all this like neon, you know, dang shit to look kind of stylish and cool. If it'll be single player, I think it also could be kind of stylish and cool, but like in multiplayer you kind of don't really have that much to play around, right? You're gonna have like characters of players, you're gonna have characters of NPCs, and you're gonna need to have the environments that are not like taking too much attention from the action. The thing is that gameplay-wise, how it looks and feels like is just arcadey and stuff. Like a lot of other extraction shooters, they all try to go like after Tarkov into this like try-hard, you know, like simulation, gun porn and stuff like that. And this one just kind of like, you know, sliding, jumping, going fast, you know, like there's like seemed kind of like almost no recoil on the guns, you know, just kind of like go, if it's gonna be like some fast matches, you know, you just go in, go fast, kill things fast, a lot of action, not a lot of rat action, because like Sniper, when the Sniper was aiming at the streamer, you could see like the blink there, right? So it's not gonna be some like red meta when everyone just like sitting somewhere in the bushes from kilometer away sniping each other, right? So again, it seemed like it's gonna be like more straightforward, more actiony, more arcadey and stuff, and that might be actually kind of good. Like people maybe will like that because like I feel like there's already too many like try hard ones, you know. CJ needs I say most extraction shooters don't do well. I mean, which ones though? How many there are that are successful? Let's put it that way. Like, Grey Zone was successful for a little bit, and they do try to be also mega realistic from what I know, right? Like, okay, Hunt Showdown doesn't do it, alright, fine, but like, who else is there? What else is there, really? Hunt has anti-Zuber gun gameplay. I mean, how does that work? But I mean, yeah, like that's the thing. Like this seemed kind of more like friendly for you know, kind of like for the modern shooter enjoyers, I guess. Let's put it that way. Yeah, losing a bullet on reload. I see. All right. So I do think they might find their audience there. I do think so. Hunter Gunslinger control modes? Nope. I have no clue. Like, all I seen of Hunt was like when Ella was playing it, basically. Back in the day, that's it. That's it. Well, I mean that's what I mean, Janie. Like there's a lot, right? But all successful do basically that. Because Cycle died. Let's be real, Marauders like also was kind of promising, but it never really even took off in the end. Yeah, serious, I see. I'll see. That's the thing, like the successful ones, everyone who succeeds somewhat, they do try to rip off Tarkov. Yeah, that's why probably Tarkov is still around and still huge and everyone's still fucking returning to it even after all the drama. But I do think there is still kind of a market for everything else, for some other styles of gameplay, and that's why they might actually find their niche. But we'll see though, because like the thing is about finding the niche also, it depends how much it's gonna cost and how greedy they're gonna go with that. Because it might have, you know, some prospects to be next Concord. I doubt it's gonna be the next Concord exactly though, because they're probably gonna farm marketing really hard. So I doubt it's gonna be that bad. But it might be just something that like after like a few seasons might just go into like support mode already, you know. Potentially, we'll see. Like with Extraction, at least it's kind of easier, I guess, to go into compared to other live services, because Extraction mostly, like at least Starcall, right? Like the biggest ones, they like the biggest one, I guess. Hunt still has like the linear progression, right? You still kind of like meta progression, like level things. And Tarkov does wipes all the time, so at least kind of it's like easier to try to intercept the audience because, you know, they just do wipes all the time. And the gameplay and gameplay visuals just didn't look good. Like when they show streamers actually playing, not, you know, like the tailored videos for gameplay, but actual like the footage of streamers playing, that did seem kind of nice. That did seem like Apex, to be honest, to me. Like if someone would show me that and say it's like some Apex with PvE or something, I would be kind of like, yeah, that does seem kind of like it. And well, as someone who doesn't play Apex, right, just kind of seeing, I just like, yeah, it seems like some sliding and stuff, you know, some abilities people use, like some animations that kind of similar, like gun models and like iron sights kind of similar, you know. Yeah, that I would believe that. That's not the best, not the worst thing, right? Because Apex is kind of popular still, so. I lost more interest during his sponsor segment during the streamer stuff. Well, I mean, because he's like, yeah, I mean, I can see that from the perspective of like, yeah, you kind of get sponsored to show other streamers. That's just kind of like cringe, dude. Like we've already had that before many times on Twitch. That's just weird. You basically get paid to promote other streamers in a way. That's kind of like the fuck. I can see that in a way, but like, I mean, just disregarding, you know, who they showing and stuff, just like the actual live gameplay. I mean, like, I don't care about streamers, but like the actual gameplay from a person perspective who is playing, that looked better than the gameplay that they showed like in trailer, you know, like those like edited, you know, scripted gameplay. That looked dog shit. The actual gameplay where like streamers are playing together, that looked kind of in action live, you know, unedited. That looked kind of like Apex to me. Like if you like Apex, like that seemed like it might be kind of alrighty. Even though I guess Apex has like way more different classes nowadays, and here you just get like what, 4 operators right now only, but you can kind of deck them out into different things. So it depends how much variety you can get decking them out. So I could kind of see for some people, like not for me. Like for me instantly, like game has like no solo mode, it's just like goodbye, I'm out. No solo mode, it's like already like, you know, 80% out. No PvE on top of that, that's like pretty much 100% out. It would be solo with PvP? Maybe. If it would be not solo but with PvE? Maybe. No solo, no PvE? Goodbye. Yeah, 6 will be. Early, I think it's gonna be 4. On Alpha, it's gonna be 4. Then it will be 6, I think they said, yeah. Twitch replace hashtag sponsor with sponsor game. No, it's Twitch has nothing to do with that. It's like whatever whatever the one sponsoring you like wants to see there, I guess. Hey Steve, good morning. So it may be them just kind of trying to farm some sort of like search engine optimization or something like that. I don't know. Like some games do that. It's like it's kind of like, you know, a little like they do. It's a little more veiled. Like you not specifically say like sponsored. It's just kind of like some game partner. So like for example, I am like with Dune, right? I can say I'm Funcom partner because I'm part of Funcom creator program, right? But I'm not sponsored, I'm not paid by them, so I'm not sponsored, right? But I'm Funcom partner technically because I'm in their creator program, right? But someone who is paid, they are also partner by them, but they get paid. So it's just, you know, it's just kind of like moves it a little into gray zone, I guess. You kind of do the disclosure, but in the same time, that disclosure doesn't necessarily say that you are like sponsored. So it's kind of like, it's a little fuckery, you know, to kind of like avoid, I guess, to specifically say like, and people just look at, oh, this guy got paid for this shit. It's trash. And now when you kind of see them, they kind of like, well, I don't know, maybe he got paid, maybe not. Most people still assume that everyone gets paid for everything nowadays, like, you know, so whatever, I guess. How's it going, Steve? Good morning. How's life, man? Decent space left for any big multiplayer game in general? I think so. Like, there's always space for something good. Like, I mean, look at like Helldivers, you know, like, it just appeared and boom, there we go. No, it does seem like it's full focus on group though. Like, you can go solo, but you will be against the group. So it's gonna be like something for like, you know, some content creators who just like that kind of content, I guess, to just like fuck around with like the big groups and stuff, you know, and then like once per 10 matches, they maybe will succeed and get like some enough footage to make like a video how they own someone, you know, solo versus 3. Probably. Any game strong enough for people to jump over for a couple of months? Well, you need to make something, you know, like the... Like, you either need to go like Apex mode by just like paying a shitload of money to a bunch of streamers and just kind of push through, you know, and make it kind of like meta sorta. But you also need a good product for that anyway, right? Because Apex was good product. Or you need to make like something that will naturally just work, which is like, I think, kind of doable. But I do also feel that for a lot of like the big corpus, they just kind of don't want to rely on that. So they want to make something like super massive with a massive budget. And then just try to kind of make it, you know, foolproof, you know, like the fail-proof with the massive marketing. We'll see. The massive marketing already works full power. Yeah, the cat lure worked and everything. So yeah. Oh, Apex suffered for many things. There was also like I remember a lot of people complaining that no content and stuff, right? But they still managed to kind of somehow go through it. I'm being paid to talk about this right now. Yeah, some people just assume you're sponsored to do anything, which I mean, like any streamer who does this shit for years, they will not, you know, like try to like hide some sort of like disclosure and get fucked over it potentially in the future and ruin all your like fucking career and opportunities in the future just because they kind of like, you know, like win a little bit of money, you know, there somehow. Not even, you know, like I don't know what you even gain by not disclosing that you are sponsored, dude. I don't know what you even gain. So, like, people with those, like, you know, tinfoil hats, they're a little ridiculous there. They're a little ridiculous. They're competing with others also having massive marketing? Like who? Like who? Do we have, like, some multiplayer shooters right now that kind of, like, pump some crazy marketing stuff? I don't think so. Well, I mean, Marathon actually, like, if you don't generalize the extraction genre too much, Marathon doesn't really have a lot of competitors either, if you think about it. Because as I mentioned, right, like, it's not like leaning into realism. It's not like, you know, like trying to be too serious to like try hard and stuff. It's more, you know, like fast, you know, and the arcadey and stuff. Like they could get their niche. Will they though? Will they like lean into that, or are they gonna try to go against, you know, like the massive crowd as much as possible, and you know, like trying to kind of like they take audience from other extraction shooters? We'll see. Yeah, it's only a matter of a game being good and so on. Yeah, and having content and stuff, and like, you know, kind of like handling it well. Like decent price on release, good content, right? Not too greedy with like battle passes and stuff. You know. All PvP shooters, Joe Norman doesn't really care about the differences. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I'm not the target audience there, right? So I can't really say for sure. Like if there would be like if there would be a solo mode, for example, like they would get me interested. Like, not gonna lie, just because there is no like those shooters, like none of those shooters almost, especially extraction ones that are like solo like friendly, really. Premium means like 40. They didn't say the price, so we'll see. 40 will be kind of at least manageable. I guess Helldivers was also 40, right? Or something like that, so that could be not too bad. If it'll be higher than that, I'm not sure. The general audience generalize. Well, I mean, general audience do generalize, but enjoyers of those genres, they know the differences, though, in my opinion. Yeah, and I do also, like, as I said, like, I think, like, with Extraction, like, if they would be going for BR with that style, they would suck a dick, bro, because Apex would just destroy them. But since they're going for kind of different niche, they still might. Because there's still, like, an Extraction, like, due to how Tarkov, for example, works, right? And Tarkov is still the biggest one, right? On the market, really. They do... Like, Tarkov and Extraction enjoyers that play mostly Tarkov, they kind of in the same boat, I think, as Path of Exile, right? Like, Path of Exile enjoyers sit waiting from season to season. Tarkov sitting waiting from wipe to wipe. New action RPG is out. People go play that action RPG, right? When the action RPG has some season. And then Path of Exile season comes. They move back to Path of Exile. They get enough. They get another ARPG, right? They kind of more open to, like, switch games around. a lot of BRs, a lot of like multiplayer shooters, they all kind of have this like meta progression, levels, ranks, battle passes, right? They kind of like they can't they can't really like go around because they have the sunken cost fallacy, right? They're just like farming that shit because they already committed pretty much, you know, like they can't just go play something else because then they're not farming the battle pass in their game. So like battle royales, because of that, in my opinion, are harder to get because there's always this sunken cost fallacy. This stuff is easier because people just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go play this one, and when Season in Tarkov comes, I just come back, right? Get the hype. No, content creators too, right? They like content creators playing these games, I feel they get fucking tired of playing the same shit again and again and again. So whenever something new is out, like with Battle Royales, right? Like PUBG around, or like H1Z1 back in the day. A new BR comes out, everyone's playing that shit for a couple of weeks, then it just dies completely. Everyone returns until the next one is out. Could be the same stuff. Cheaters are actually huge stuff. Like, if they manage, and I don't think they will, to just deal with cheaters and make the game somewhat, you know, like, free of cheaters. Like, any shooter, in my opinion, right now, that manages to kind of, like, deal with cheaters, like, on a decent level somehow, they will have really good chances. Because I think cheaters just destroy, like, every shooter now. Like, every game is just getting shit on, pretty much. At least on PC, right? Like, console, I guess, kind of less affected. That's why they already even made, like, I think Call of Duty and some other games just made, like, that if you're on console, you can just, like, you know, like, how it was before, right? PC people were like, like, remove matchmaking with console plebs. Like, fuck this, like, you know, like, aim assist, that's, like, garbage players and stuff. Nah, I'm just, like, we play around our PC elite boys. And now it's like the console players are like, remove like PC from matchmaking, fuck these cheaters and stuff. We're gonna just play here, you know, fair and square with our aim assist and stuff. Fuck that stuff. And not being soloable is a huge factor. Yeah, like the Helldivers is PvE. PvE is different. Like PvE is less tryhard by definition, right? Like, people care less. People not as competitive. People, like, you know, like, less salty, less toxic and stuff. You can play with some randoms. You don't need voice cooperation, right? And, like, PvE games, like, you died, I mean, whatever, you know, who gives a shit, right? Whatever, I got my rewards anyway and stuff. In PvP stuff, like, you muted, you can get the voice in the incident, right? When he got like banned for a month because like he was playing with the Russians that didn't have any voice chat because of the sanctions and stuff, right? So he just called them some ways and got banned for a month for that, you know, like that kind of stuff happens because it's like way more competitive and way more salty. The co-op can be sweaty too, but then PvP is even more sweaty. Like 100%. 100%. The Vermintide is also kind of established game, right? Like when you go to established games, then people already kind of like expect you to know things, right? So like if you kind of go there and you're not good, they're gonna start, you know, like dropping the relativism on you. Like how are you so bad and everything? The game is so old, you know. Yeah, and it's also like it's co-op, right? It's like team of 3, and when you lose your shit too, right? So like if someone is Pipiega, for example, right, or someone is thinking that someone else is Pipiega, and because of them they lost just everything right now, they're gonna probably like pop off there, you know, in the voice chat and stuff. And without voice chat, you're most likely gonna have people just like quitting on you or something, unless they make some sort of like really good ping system like Apex did actually, right? I think. Maybe that will kinda save it, but yeah, still people like you know, no voice chat, like people just gonna like quit on you, or people just gonna like, you know, like blame everything on you because you don't have a voice chat, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's not the best experience in PvP shooter to have no coordination with the team. So you need voice chat. Voice chat means, you know, like some salty people, some pipiagas, some shitty microphones, you know, like gamer words and all those things going in. So like soloable, or like the game that is like kind of more like chill with that, and you just kind of no coordination, just go in and whatever. Those have like benefits for that. Bonus points. They can just you can just play and enjoy those easier. Imagine if your loot is on the line, yeah. can go in and out without any single shot fire. I think they said you can. You can, but you still go in the team though. That's the problem. Like you can't do it solo. And Dark and Darker actually kind of had that kind of cool. There was a solo mode where you could go and you could just, you know, quietly basically just loot and extract. Or like fight someone, or like play like full red mode with like the assassin rogue, whatever it was. Like that was like at least nice, and you know, if you fuck up, you die, well, it's you, it's solo, right? Here, even if you go just for full PvE, you still can get suddenly PvP, and then someone's gonna blame someone, you know. Only play those when you have a group. Yeah, I see those solo mode and stuff. It's just like a skip for me, like pretty much automatically, unless like I have a group, which I not really. I could like CB and Treasy usually can play some stuff like that, but like yeah, I'm kind of not really good at those two, so I rather not even go in to drag the team down and everything. And the CB is MLG player there and stuff, you know. Don't want to be the backpack anyway there. Okay, let's get back to the bros in there. Started stuck too early. Stuck too early. There's still too many news, dude. Crushlands. The first one kind of like recent, no? Oh no, that one is old. All right. I guess there was like a demo or something of this one. That's what I remember. Bought a squad shenanigans there. That's a lot of reviews. I guess the first one was pumping at some point. Holy. Holy. Excited, have been waiting for this game for ages. Damn son, who played the first. Seems like some good stuff right there. Oh, as the blueprints go in there. A lot of people getting disappointed by that now all of a sudden now. Too much RNG galore. Can't recommend. Showed first half of the game finding new things, how dimension functions, solving some puzzles, putting together clues. Then space between puzzles grew larger and larger as the game went on. Puzzles were there and just couldn't get to solve them. Without luck and RNG on my side. I see. You have a certain chance of encountering a room during a run. Some rooms extremely rare, some are more common. Some require other rooms to navigate to work. Alright. That's basically what I heard there. Glacial pacing on this one is a real turn-off. Alright. They're wrong about the titles being marketed, eh? Being gaslit by statements from both reviewers and the creator. The game is complex and deep, story unfolds in surprising compelling ways, gradually pull the threads. The game is a meta puzzler in the style of Abyss as Animal Well. Puzzle few and far between, solutions aren't just signposts. Literally spelled out for you in more places than one. So people not happy that there's not like some insane mega puzzle there. I love the game for good moments, but the time between those moments was too long. I see. RNG. I see, alright. So people suffering about this one now. A Locomoto. Oh yes, the cozy train one there. The cozy stuff goes brrr. Damn, the reviews, South of Midnight. This actually did like good reviews and stuff. Actually, like a lot of reviews is kind of okay, but yeah, I think it's not gonna be the blockbuster whatever they expected there. It totally didn't seem like one. Yeah, 1400 doesn't sound very pog, eh? That does not sound very pog. Yeah, I wonder if they kind of were rocking that mega budget on that one. Because that is... yeah, it's on Game Pass, sure, sure. But they also didn't go around, like, for example, Titanfall, right? That is also on Game Pass. That was already, like, past 2 million of people playing. And these guys I haven't heard anything about, so... Another Souls-like? Wait. How is this one a Souls-like? I thought it's kind of more like the generic kind of... what's the name? Like the combat... like the action combat system. Captain Blorda. The anti-Vogue sentiment. I don't think this one really farmed that much of this, the anti-Vogue. I mean, when it didn't go that good, people probably started, like, you know, going, that's because it's Vogue and stuff. But yeah, I don't think it got, like, that much of the anti-Vogue and Vogue stuff or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I heard the combat is dog, and the good parts about the game basically just kind of, like, music, which I guess is also kind of maybe not for everyone, the country stuff, right? And kind of, like, the lore, story, and that kind of shit. But the combat apparently is not good, huh? Apparently not very good there. A very linear action adventure, right? Let's see, Steve, I say. I'll see. Yeah, just kind of like feel there was somewhat of a niche one there. Somewhat of a niche one. And no stuff still generalizes, yeah. Not so sure about this one. Not so sure. See if I say. Story was hilarious in the bad way though. The fuck? The game for impacting. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like this one is actually like at least kind of like seemed cool. You know, like interesting stuff was going on. But yeah, how it all worked together though, not sure. I got the option to skip combat sections actually even there, huh? Slap dodge, not another one and leave. I mean, slap dodge can actually go in many games, like even something like Infamous, for example. And I wouldn't say Infamous is the Souls, like, you know. You can actually even skip the combat sections there. It's literally the Souls-like. Confident in the gameplay. Yeah, I feel like it's maybe just like doing some sort of like, you know, like the narrative-centered... just sort of like visual novel or something is considered kind of like, you know, not good enough with the budgets, you know. It was making some AA, I guess, stuff or something, so we need some combat and shit to be there. And when you try to like when you try to chase that poke moment, you know, to have some gameplay and stuff, that's when you're also kind of risking that poke moment is not gonna be that poke, yeah? Felt also like with the Scorn, right? Like just make it like full narrative walking sim. Now we're gonna add some combat and everything. I could see it, I guess, in Scorn because they also wanted to showcase some cool, weird, you know, fucked up weapons and stuff, sure. But yeah, it was like the weakest and the worst part in the game. Combat option, which is wild. I mean, I don't think it was exactly there because they think that their combat is shit. I think it's there probably because there's a lot of people nowadays who complain about difficulty and stuff, right? So they just like instead of maybe adding like, you know, let's add the difficulty that makes you invincible, let's just like just plain skip the combat because like, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense too. Like why even if you're invincible? There's like 6 combat segments in Scorn. Yeah, and they all fucking annoying, especially before patches when the what's the name? The save points were absolute dog shit, man. Like that was so bad. Like later in patches, they added like more checkpoints and stuff, so like you can at least get like resurrected like there. I remember like a lot. I don't remember how much was like hour or something, if not more even, of progress just gone because of the dog shit combat there. Like oof, dude. Yeah, skip combat I assume it's more for people in terms of difficulty. But yeah, it was like very, like, it did seem like a very generic like combat. Like I guess like the story and everything, but then like the main off-putting thing for me was this like wannabe stop motion stuff. Like that's since the first time they showed it, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'd rather not, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like you do like actual stop motion, that is cool. Like you know, clay motion and all those things, that is nice. Like you try to like make it with this like weird like tech filters and stuff. It's just come on, dude. Buy a game if you want to skip gameplay, just YouTube it. I mean, ask people. Some people do that. That's why like a lot of games now have like the story difficulty and everything. That's it. Accessibility. Some people still want to kind of like experience it themselves, but yeah. They, I guess, just have like, you know, like also like the ultimate, you know, button for that. Not even like playing on story, just completely, you know, skipping the any challenge whatsoever. That was 116 was the best time for video games. I think there's always the best time for video games, really. Yep, sure. Some people buy them and never play them, dude. Or like the 1 and 2 hours is even like 2-3 hours is generous, man. Like I have a friend who basically just got the achievement, you know, to like, what was that one? The like, is it like the bonfire in the tutorial area in Dark Souls 2? Like, or is it to die in the very first area? I forgot the name already of that one, right? Things betwixt, right, or something. Like he got that achievement, but he never got achievement to get the Majula, dude. You know, like the brother just like went in, you know, like just fucking died there or something and uninstalled. That's it. Yeah, there's plenty of people like that, man. There's plenty of people like that. Give it a fair shot there, yeah. Yeah, like all Souls games like that. Like he buys all of them, he plays all of them, and pretty much all of them are that. Like I think maybe Sekiro, he got the furthest one, and he's still like, I remember he was like with my friends, like I was like, yo guys, I haven't played, you know, like don't spoil that shit to me. But they still were kind of like talking about like some, like how far someone got, which fights, and like he was like so like, you know, yeah, I got that guy like this way, and then like, did you like get there? Ah, nah, I stopped playing already, you know. I uninstalled, dude. No, you got them all though, all of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of people like that, I guess, you know, like a lot of disposable income, not a lot of things to do with it, you know, just collecting them games. Maybe at some point I'll return, maybe. That I realized later, that's like the biggest lie, man, you won't. Most of the time, none of us will. None of us will. Even if you want, like even if you go like, what was that? I think you could do this one here, right? Or is it the... yeah, install them. There we go. That's a lot of stuff installed actually there. Holy. Oh, it's some of it installed on the laptop, I guess, still. Yeah, like a Return to Speed Freaks, for example, dude. Yep. Still kind of think I maybe will finish one day Tactical Breach Wizards. It's a good game. I love it. But like, will I though? Will I though? Shadows of Doubt, nice. Also, yeah, Breachway after patches kind of would be nice to try. Silence of Siren, that was like a last mission in the campaign. Kind of would be nice to return. More runs in Sulfur, yep, would be good too. There's already more content probably there, you know. All that stuff. The Broken Alliance, I need to return play some more too. Like, it's nice. It's nice. All that good stuff, you know. All that good stuff. Dungeons of Blood and Dreams. It's just like lying to yourself, man. You ain't gonna. Mostly ain't gonna. Yep, Shimek, yeah, exactly. I think that's good, especially if like it's like the lower center game and stuff. Why not? I think that's really nice. Like in some RPGs, for example, combat is even like, you know, it's just kind of like there to like fill the gaps between like the important stuff and like the sessions of talking and shit. And sometimes you just kind of like, you know, like cope with that and deal with that just because you know that it's like you're going to be rewarded by some good, you know, like RPGing there going on, some good lore drops, some good dialogues and stuff. So you just kind of like, well, alright, I'll keep going. And it's just an option to, you know, just skip that. See there, boss guys say, huh? Cheater, cheater. It kind of depends. Like sometimes some games you the other way around, right? You just want to play, you don't care about the story. That was me with Bayonetta back in the day. Like first playthroughs, multiple ones. I didn't even like check any cutscenes or something. I literally just like I want to fight shit. Cutscene rolling, skip into the fight, skip into the fight. Like maybe on like third playthrough or something, I started actually like watching that stuff and like trying to understand what's happening. First I was just like, well, we're playing also usually together, like in the summer house, like my friend, me, we're just gonna play in turns, basically just passing the controller and playing. So like, why wasting time on the cutscene? Just fight, go, go. Some games are like that, and some games you just want to skip all that fucking fighting and stuff because the gameplay is dog shit. Solid amount of RPGs, actually. I would say you could have that. So in RPGs, going for hard difficulty is kind of rare for me, just because I'm like never, unless I know that it's gonna be good gameplay, and then I might go for harder difficulty. Usually just like normal, at best, you know. Command the Quest. Who? Sikardza. A one-of-a-kind roguelite combines deck building card game and auto battle strategy game. And that's what Ultan needed to do. There it is. Consider unit counters, create powerful synergy, breaking down the boundaries between battlefield and cards. The wrong combination of genres. That one pumped hard though, holy shit. Not even like the poggiest reviews, but did farm quite hard though. Oh, was it in the 1 point? No, I guess not. No early access, just straight up out. Don't understand why the low ratings. Dude, mostly positive is not bad even. Yeah, there's a lot of people already like this nowadays. Oh man, mostly not overwhelmingly positive. Must be shit. This one's out. Was an upcoming, I think, popular, right? No, actually, it was already out before too. Lone Star. Again, Gibbon with the same stuff. And Haste also was last week, right? 1st of April even. Sultan's game is farming hard. Mega hard, holy. Yeah, demo was really nice. I just kind of like after demo, just like, maybe one day. Totally not in a rush. The game of the year though. Yeah, this one's pumping hard. The content padding, absolutely, yeah. Content padding is massive. Effect Miyazaki head on the game industry. Like how so? It's cold on this game and it's been hard for some reason. Demo was insane, yeah. Like, it does have a lot of stuff if you want to go with this kind of genre. It does have a lot of shit going on there. The other one Spam likes. I kind of don't like that, actually. I don't mind that, actually. Like, if that is the gameplay in the RPG, I am actually happy. Like, if it's like Elix, for example, right? Like, that combat was actually decent. Like, I would take that combat. Like, for me, it's actually, like, way better than, like, having some sort of, like, another kind of, like, wannabe Dungeons and Dragons when you, like, kind of just don't understand what half things do. Most of the time, you know. Like, I think, like, the half-far sort of Souls-like-ish in RPGs is not too bad. Personally. Personally, I kind of do like that. And I mean, like, if I like just get Elden Ring and go in, like, you're gonna just like I just gonna disappear for like 100 or more hours, like 100%. Any Souls game, like I like gameplay in those, like, and I don't play it just because kind of, I don't know, just like never got the keys, didn't want to like spend money on that because a lot of shit to play anyway. So I just kind of like chilling with that. At some point, maybe, but like if I go in, I'll go in. I'm gonna get lost there, 100%. I love that shit. I love that shit, all of them. All of them. Even replaying some. I kind of like one the least, probably, to be honest, if you think about it in terms of like considerations for replaying stuff. Boil down to literal out of one spam. I mean, it kind of depends, though. It depends what kind of build you're rolling and stuff, and what you already know about the game, I feel. Because, like, with some builds and with some things, you can't really just, like, smork it completely, though, I feel. Because when you already know a thing or two, that's when you kind of become, like, you know, OP and stuff. Kind of like Bloodborne you take, for example, right? Like, sure, if you know that this like basic starting like saw gonna be like pretty much the best thing ever happened to you, then yeah, it's gonna be one experience. If you go for the fucking cane, like I did, for example, that's gonna be completely different experience. And that's when you kind of like start fucking hating that shit real fast, and you switch to some other weapon that you can get your hands on, and that ends up being in the long run even more of a shit. So you just like constantly end up, you know, switching weapons until you finally find something that already allows you to feel strong, like Ludwig's sword or something, you know. All that's left is big enemies and bosses. Well, I mean, for me, that's the biggest part, though. Like bosses and stuff, like the little plebs, I usually kind of don't really care about too much most of the time. Unironically, that's kind of how it is for me. Like it was always kind of like, you know, a little more elaborate boss rush games for me. Like my style and my favorite stuff, right, is just getting to the boss, hopefully getting the respawn as close to boss as possible, right, and then just like slam my head up against the wall of that boss until I learn the moveset and do it, you know. That's like my favorite, you know, style. If I need to get to that boss every time through a bunch of like fucking plebs that I like R1 spam or do whatever with, even if, the more complicated they are, the more pissed off I am. Honestly, if I need to do them again and again and again every time and they are too complicated, I would be just fucking pissed, probably. That's just me. Like, I just want bosses. That's me. No, I do explore a bunch and stuff, of course, like always, a bunch. I mean, I played like that shit for hundreds of hours usually, so I do like exploring that stuff, but like the bosses are like my pinnacle content there. Like, I need that. Everything else is kind of like, if everything else is kind of dog, I don't mind. That's what Lies of P, for example. I like that part because like exploration is there, but like the bosses are kind of like not bosses, but like the plebs are kind of like whatever. They pushovers, all of them, pretty much. But then you just go to like like the boss in Lies of P and you fucking suffer. Like that, you suffer too much in the boss in Lies of P sometimes. Like I just like not looking forward to replaying that ever. To be honest, like those like red attacks, like bro, no. The deep down likes. The checkpoint saves. I mean, I don't really mind, I guess, but like it depends. Like some boss runs are like annoying, though. Not gonna lie. %80 of your playtime is spent slapping plebs. I mean, I guess kinda, yeah, kinda. I don't really like. I don't think it was like ever that super easy for me. Not so sure. In terms of like the pleb slapping, like what usually kind of carries it is like what happens in like it's not like the plebs themselves being like the pushovers and easy. It's just the fact that there's always like environment involved, like more different plebs involved. Like there's always like those situations that even with easy plebs it still becomes kind of annoying. Like even the rafters, right, and everything with the archers, like those archers and like on their own and stuff, they're not really anything like hard, right? But like that particular place and situation, that can be annoying. Was mostly enemies on their own. Kinda. Bloodborne, I wouldn't really say so. I think Bloodborne still kind of had a lot of those, like, situations when environment is still something to kind of, like, to keep track about. Like, I mean, the fucking curse stuff, right? Whatever. The madness or frenzy build-ups and all those things, right? Like, there were some areas and places where you still kind of need to be considerate with it. Especially when you play for the first time. Like the first time Bloodborne experience for me was quite something. Like I was like exploring and dealing with those areas a bunch. Was struggling quite with some like bosses and enemies too for a while because also like I at some point used even like the stake driver, for example. I was using for a while, right? Because I started with the fucking cane. And I started hating that stuff. So and then at some point I had the stake driver. I used the spear shit also because that one at least kind of allowed you to like like range cheese sort of things because you had this like stronger or whatever or transform attack that was kind of like pretty like a long stab and everything. Like I did explore a lot of weapons and a lot of things there basically just because I was kind of like suffering a little and like I did find it like pretty nice. I did find it pretty nice. A lot of places where you could just like fall. A lot of places where you just can get like ambushed and everything, like some like like water whatever that's gonna slow you down and stuff. Like there was decent amount of things. Fucking machine gun and Yarnam, like those things when you don't know about them. So I think it's not that bad. We're just kind of like already jaded, like well, no I just haven't played still a lot of From stuff nowadays, right? But like I guess in general, in the community, a lot of people who kind of jaded with that because I mean I would expect from people who like watch Hella a lot, like everyone already like can go through a lot of places in the game with the fully blindfolded and stuff at this point. So obviously you already kind of play those games in a different level, I guess. And the big shift towards mostly action, I guess. That I guess did kind of happen. Like more gimmicky shit could be kind of cool. That I do agree. That I do agree. But no, I think even 3 had like some of the moments like that, some sort of like, you know, like some sort of like different spice, different taste, different areas and enemies, and it was kind of cool. There was still some nice moments, I would say. I haven't played stuff after, so can't comment on that. Can't comment on that. Cavern Adventures. Oh, Kairosoft, damn. Oh, I didn't even notice. Ah, there he is. There's their mascot. Ah, shit. I missed the legend. Seems like kind of a little different to what they usually make, though. Damn, son. They innovate and do it. They actually changing the usual stuff they make. Insane. Clonizer. Hex-based tactics and roguelike deck building. It's by Rodak. I see. More innovative than Miyazaki. Well, boy, Miyazaki is innovative, dude. Like, have you seen last 2 games announcements? Like, come on, man. He does new things. There it is. Does new things. Boy, you have to be mad. Why are you throwing shade at the man? You're about to drop some innovating stuff, you know. And below them, Kingdom Management RPG City Building Mechanics. May going to be packed? What's in May there? I think May was kind of somewhat dead game. Like end of April, and then May was kind of not like, oh, they got Doom here and stuff, I guess, true. Like, there was some stuff, but like nothing super crazy. Doom, I'm not sure yet still. Like I sent them, like they asked for they asked to send them requests like after release, after the last show, like when they like, was it Game Awards actually? Around that, I think when they dropped the release date and the FOMO edition, they were like, oh yeah, send the requests, and I sent. We'll see. But if I'm not getting that, I'm not even mad, dude. Oh yeah, there's Dune. There is Dune. For me, there is Dune in May. Like May is basically like, you know, like fucking eaten by the sandworm at this point already. Like spice will be flowing, at least for some time. Maybe it's complete dog shit and I'm just gonna flush it, but like I have a feeling it's gonna be, you know, the worm shit, so I'm just gonna be huffing on that spice probably really hard, at least for a few weeks, and then we'll see. The RPG, the Dune Awakening, the life service, the survival one. Probably gonna be on that one. For a while. The Conan Exiles, like, yeah. And the War Side is out soon. And the Funcom, yeah. That one is Advanced War, like, yeah. Fool's Apprentice. A Wizard Academy Management Sim. There, son. It's a management sim and it's not even like the Unity asset flip. Okay. That's the rare one. Not even first person? Damn. Insane. I don't know the sim meta or something. Night is Kumin. Stygian Outer Gods early access tomorrow. How to find time for everything, brother. Because I have that one, I can play it like right now. Well, I was planning yesterday actually, but like with Promise Mascot, with the Endless Legend, now also, you know, the Lunacid is good. Like, dude, when to play everything? Like, like long streams are cool and everything too, of course, but like pumping them regularly, like it's last days. I need to kind of like I need to get like one more SIM card. I need to like book the rest of the things, you know, like the IRL Fiesta is coming soon. Like I need to go to the post office and everything too. Like man, it's just starting to kind of like, you know, like more stuff on top, like just piling and piling. That's why you need like the managers and shit for all that. It's insane. Turn the Savage Planet. Kinda, Metal Eden also, I think I have something about it. It's kinda like also probably not exactly my GM. I guess the body hello. How we doing? See, just a lot of things. And next week I will try to like catch up with a bunch of things because then on Friday next week I'm out to Tajikistan. From there I'm back to Uzbekistan. After a couple of cities in Uzbekistan, I'm in Kyrgyzstan. And then from that only, I'm gonna be back, so I'm gonna be out for like 5 days IRL streaming, basically. That also gonna be like, you know, a lot of time gone. And then it's gonna be already Clair Obscur releasing. So I'm gonna be playing Clair Obscur for a few days. And then it's gonna be the second IRL trip with my friend already in another side of Uzbekistan. That's also 5 days. And only after that, it's gonna be like, basically... So like this is gonna be all IRL streams, like from 18th to 23rd most likely, and then 24th to 28th gonna be kind of like PC streams again, and then 28th to like 2nd or 3rd is gonna be more IRLs. Then I will return, and at least there was gonna be like 10 days, somewhat calm, except I will need to prepare because on 13th we're already flying to another country, so I'm just gonna have like, you know, 10 days to basically prepare and everything and still stream a bit, and then I'm out to another country. And then I'm in one country here. Then this day we're gonna have the car that's gonna take us to Armenia, and hopefully we already start looking for apartments instantly as we arrive. So on the 15th I'm already hopefully gonna be, you know, like unwrapping my setup in new apartments. So like evening 15th or morning 16th I'm already like rolling into that dune. So it's insane, man. Then Dune gonna go hard for sure, at least like until they take the release day on 20th. Few more days. And then it's gonna be maybe a little bit of chill time until the Jovs show starts, like on this week, right, I think? And then right after that it's gonna be Next Fest. Was it this week or was it this week? I don't remember. Which I probably gonna go like another kind of like Hobbiton mode. Just kind of like, you know, like go ham because it's gonna be a lot of shit to watch and everything. So it's gonna be something, man. It's like 2 weeks of insane shit. The might be kind of cool, might be. I hope you get well, guys. The money. I hope you get well. Mandragora next week. Mandragora is interesting, though. We'll see. We'll see about that one. Stress testing servers, you believe in them? Well, I mean, Slavic is already farming the beta test for a while, so... But, you know, like, we already seen so many of those releases where everything just fucking crashes and burns, even when they know amounts of hype that's gonna happen, so... Yeah, we'll see about that. The thing is, like, it's gonna be the formal release first, right? On 15th, so it's gonna be, like, kind of, like, splitting in halves. So on 15th, maybe it's gonna be not that much of connection stuff. On 20th, probably it's gonna be already when everyone joined in. That might be a fiesta. Oh yeah, that's the Slavic folklore stuff. I remember this one. We've seen it. We've seen it. These days I see. Sounds good. Sounds good. Cthulhu. Cthulhu. It's like when you go in, like the news, like when you play, you don't really kind of care, but when you go like in the news and stuff, then like the football starts to get like you just want to move a little more on it. And get tired of sitting on it when you just go reading and stuff. You do something, you less notice it, I guess. See the actually say. Also by clock time then. See, Steve, I see. Yeah, some are also gonna have some releases. I kind of like low-key wanted to be like chill, but there will be stuff. There will be stuff. I gotta even do the things you don't like. Yep, of course, of course. Of course, yeah. And that's kind of how it is, sadly, I guess. With many things, really. But when you don't get paid for it, it's a little less enticing, I guess, to do those things. Erensura. MMO RPG. A single player nod to the MMORPGs of the past. Now, when I see that, my main, like, question is, like, why don't you play those then? Hundreds of simulated players to adventure with. I guess at least you can have people to play with together in this one, even though they're all AI, but at least they are there. As you used to say. Yeah, that one made nice. That one will be probably nice. I have no idea what to play, dude. Must be nice. Must be nice. No, actually, it sucks balls, dude. It's nice to have a lot of games to play. I'd be complaining about that, obviously, right? That not enough time, but that's not because, not because you said that you have all those games to play. You just said that you can't dedicate enough time to those. That's the sad part. But having a lot of games is good. Steep Shebek, I see. The repose looks dank. Renting cost precious energy. Rendered entire in black and white, find oxygen and sleep. That's the job. Don't ask about Aaron. Monka is. Vizordom, oh yeah, Vizordom is a nice one. I mean, I played it before. Not sure if I'm gonna, like, I'm not really in the mood for some boomer shooting. And not really. Like, I'm like, at this point, like, I really, like, what I really want to play, right? Is like, I want to play more Promise Mascot. Like, I do really enjoy that one. I do want to play more Lunacid one. It was kind of nice, just like, sort of brain off, just go kill things. That was nice. Well, KCD, obviously. That one I also want to play more, to be honest, a lot more. And, like, Endless Legend, I have, like, just 30 turns left or something. I really do like they added those corals, actually. Like, the full diplomacy mode, I do like it already. Like, that faction is really good. Like, I do like the fact that you just kind of can go full peace mode on that one, sorta. Well, full, obviously, it's not going to be that easy, but I do really like it already. And yeah, then it's like Clair Obscur. Clair Obscur, the thing is, also on top of Clair Obscur, there's my magic booker there. There's going to be Mother Hub I'm going to play. That actually kind of is a shooter, not exactly boomer. That's a short one. I'm going to go for that one, actually, because it's a short one and it might be interesting. So I'm going to go for that one. Then there's also Nine Kings releasing, so I hope I will get access to that because that demo was really fun. That one was really fun. Oh yeah, I have White Knuckle also. For next week. I'm like, dude, like, play the demo, I'm like, yep. I suck, I will suck, I'm not gonna play it. And then I like opening email and it's just like, yo, you played the demo, like, here's the full game. I'm like, bruh, man. Alright, fine. I'm gonna try like a level or something, I guess. Try to just like push through it, Physical schedule book? Absolutely, yeah. That's not this one. I basically just kind of like write the games down with dates, which I need to kind of get more on the book. Then I had the planner too, also on top of that. And then I really suck even finding time to write in those. Like, I don't know what's with schedule here or something, or it's just my brain already. I'm just like time just disappears. I don't know. Like, I stream like for like 7-8 hours, right? Nothing well, okay, fine. Some streams are long, but like mostly like 7 or 8 hours. Like, I sleep 7 hours like maximum. I like lately lost like a sleep less, like 6 hours or something usually, because I like end up going late and I'm just like still setting this fucking like alarm because like, fuck you, Leatherman, why are you going to bed late? I wake up early anyway. And there's still not enough time. Like, where the fuck is it all going? I don't know, man. It was nice kind of with my previous also friend, because he was like also kind of like, you know, a social gamer like me pretty much. So we just were like, you know, like we could just barely talk even in the day. Like just like, you know, good morning and like couple of words during the day and that's it. This friend is a little more like, you know, like he kind of works quietly there all day, and then like in the evening he wants to kind of like, you know, sometimes to chat and everything, and then sometimes like after also like, you know, like 12-hour or something stream, you just want to like be in silence, you know, you just want to shut the fuck up and just sit there silently. Live very unhealthy. You just don't have time. Like when you like stream all that time, you just don't have time to do anything else, and you need to do a lot of things. Like if you don't have managers and stuff, you need to do a lot of shit, man. Like it's just like, you know, like the regular stuff. The Bard's Tale. Oh, which one? The last one? It was actually like it had issues on the release with like bugs and stuff. I actually like rage quit it on stream. Not rage quit, but like basically like uninstalled on stream because I lost like 2 hours of progress because of like some crash or some other shit, so I just kind of never returned to it. But it was actually cool. Like music was really nice and the game itself was kind of nice, but it was quite buggy though. The 4-hour morning wank, I mean, it's like sure wank for sure, but like not for 4 hours, man. Might be long and stuff, but still not 4 hours, you know. No matter how much you goon, 4 hours doesn't sound healthy. But yeah, just kind of like, you start doing like those crazy hours, you just don't have time for anything else. And you kind of need to, you know, function like a human being. Like needed like 3 days pretty much to go like deal with like the paperwork stuff every morning. Now today I need to get the notes, which we need to get to because there's a bunch of shit there, like with all those tabs, you know, to get through. And then you have some other things also to do. Like you always have something. So if you kind of go in this like 12 hours or more stream every day, it's just kind of like, man, like, well, when are you doing other things? I'm not even talking about live and stuff. I'm talking about just like streaming related things still, like answering emails, you know, dealing with all those things. Even that already kind of like when time. I also kind of feel it's just like, I don't know, like kind of brain just like in the insane race mode. Started in Georgia sort and it's still kind of going. I don't know, it's just kind of like, you feel like you're always short on time, and time just also kind of, I mean, you do kind of be pretty short on time, but not that short. Should be some more. You always kind of like feel that you're like late for everything, you know, late for life and stuff. And it would be like, I do feel like kind of more, you know, fit to like the regular, you know, my regular nerd cave life, just kind of like, you know, my routine, just like home, gym, swimming pool, you know, streaming, and like some on day off, some day offs to hang out with friends, family, and stuff like that. That's probably what I'm like best built for. All this is very fun and exciting, but yeah, it's something I'm still kind of struggling to adapt to, I guess. But I'm still gonna try. There's always gonna be time to just like, you know, go back to full cave dweller mode. While I kind of got forced out, might as well use it. So yeah, bear with me on that one. Tower of Kalibod done. I'm gonna play that one. You want Colbert Times? Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I do still kind of hope now for like, well, I kind of like still with Twitch piggy bank, I kind of managed to like now almost soon a year after the Twitch piggy bank, I managed to get back to the amount of money that piggy bank was in the beginning, right? So I thankfully didn't save, but at least I didn't lose over the year, I guess, you know, so that's already a good thing. So I hopefully gonna be able to still, with this money, to get like a year, hopefully like in Asia and stuff. And that will be probably the most overheat shit, because in one country you can stay for like 2 months, 3 months maximum, so it's gonna be like a lot of just like, you know, PP hopping around. And after that would be nice probably already to just kind of like, you know, sit down somewhere and relax. I need to do all the things though. To be honest, I don't do a lot of things that I kind of need to do, right? With YouTube and other things. Like you kind of need to be honest, I guess. Like to grow and even to stay afloat good, you kind of need to. Yeah, I don't do even, right? And there's already not enough time. Secret, could I say? Armenian wife and lived a good life? Nah, not in Armenia, probably. Not really, not really. Yeah, waifus don't even, like, you know, like, fit in this. Like, there's already not enough time, man. Which waifus, dude? Which, like, my friend's still, like, trying to, like, bomb some Tinder and everything here. And I think to no avail, because, like, all the, like, the Armenia, Georgia and stuff, if you're looking for that kind of expot, you know, that's in the beginning, don't even come here, most likely. Because, yeah, like, traditional society, all this like Tinder stuff not gonna yield you much. So I'm not even like I never even had that shit installed. I don't have time for that stuff. Like literally, like I'm not like I don't gonna invest any time into that, dude. Fuck that shit. There's so many games to play. Which fucking wife is, dude? Nope. Nope. Not really. Not really. But the streamer, well, that at least is kind of maybe realistic, but also kind of not really, because I'm also like not going to any conventions and other things and pretty asocial, you know, in that sense, forcefully, not because I am a social myself, but just because you're traveling to some conventions is a huge pain. Well, I will be on the time Gamescom most likely, but I doubt any other streamers will. Like, I constantly invite all our boys, like, yo guys, wherever I am, just, you know where to find me, just DM. I'll find you place and everything to stay. Don't need to spend anything, you know. We'll be all good. Just visit, hang out, stream together, IRL together, whatever. Well, guess what? Everyone just also likes to sit in their caves and everything instead. But that's just how it is, or travel around, you know, only like their kind of like local countries where they feel comfortable, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Kiev is nice. I don't blame anyone. Kiev is really nice. Kiev is really nice and really comfy. I do like that lifestyle too. You just learn how good it is when you like look back at it. Like, dude, maybe it's like, you know, not the one that society approves and stuff. I don't give a fuck. That is really nice, dude. That is really nice away, and I want back to that hopefully eventually. But for now we go with adventure arc. But yeah, doing all the things, I mean, somewhat you kind of do. Now with IRLs, as I said, like booking and everything, planning the routes, planning which, you know, like places to visit, you know, trying to figure out, you know, which boss I will need to get to the border with Tajikistan, how to get from the border of Tajikistan to Hujian, and then from Hujian what to watch there, what to stream there. Then I will need also to see where the store is with ISPs in Hujian, so I can get SIM cards in Tajikistan, because different country, different ISPs, right? So I can stream basically. So like a lot of like those things that like they all kind of like small when you like just look at them separately, but when it's just like, you know, like more on that stuff you need to do and you start doing, and it's just kind of like, you know, like a whole hour is just like pee poofing completely. Unfortunately, just how it goes. But usually, at least, I kind of just do it in like one burst, you know, with all this IRL stuff, and then it's just kind of more chill. But yeah, doing that, it's a lot of things to keep track of, But it is what it is. Such is life. Such is life. Hopefully, you know, I kind of conditioning my brain and everything to such life too. So I'm a little less, you know, stuck in my coziness and stuff. So I'm more mobile and shit and ready to go. Especially will be nice with like the Asian segment, because yeah, every few months we will need to just kind of like, you know, pack everything up, get the bags, and peace out to the next area. Hopefully that will be more kind of adapting rather than just like suffering with it, you know. Supercar collection simulator. Damn, son. Just the same ones that are farming a lot of other. I think that's actually the person who was like during Next Fest in chat all the time, asking to play some of their simulators there. No? And also emailed about this one already. I'm like, bro, nope. Enough of that. Enough of that. This flips my asses, yeah. The big AI disclaimer. Is it this one? No, this one. No, this one doesn't have any AI, actually. Look at this. Absolutely clean. Clean. Is to be on a blueprint? Yeah, it seems like it. Well, I mean, it's a lot of the same studios, just kind of like, you know, just changing the flavor of the same simulation. That's it. Most of the time. Most of the time. And yeah, maybe some like Unity asset store or something got some of the systems as like basically like, you know, assets plugins you can just buy. So I assume a lot of people just got into that. A lot of people, looks like. All right, let's get to the news part. Each is quite a lot there. That definitely not a Fall Guys clone. Sonic Rumble is out in exactly 1 month. There it is, man. Another one. Oh, it's on mobile and stuff too. Ooh, beautiful. The Sonic Fall Guys, Stops people from admitting they use the AI. Don't get shit on, probably. Yeah, pointed and laughed at, I guess. Even though I think, like, in, you know, like the sim slop, you probably wouldn't really suffer too much of the downside there. Civilization 7's next update will make food actually worth investing in and let you play forever if you got that long. Alright, we're not gonna see Ultan anymore, man. He's gone. Can play forever now. So what was that? Endless play mode, Keep going with your campaign once you finish the modern age thanks to new just one more turn option. A returning feature of previous Civ games too, teams multiplayer and a bunch of other additions like a repair all option, less natural disasters and overall quality of life improvements. The Ultan is gone now completely already. A Diablo 4's 2025 roadmap outlines upcoming seasons, tweaks, and collabs. Not the dreaded IP collab. Oh damn, Diablo collabs time. You guys posted? Oh, why did they admit it instead of saying nothing? Probably afraid that, you know, like they rather just admit something and downplay it than completely lie and then get caught and, like, you know, removed from Steam or something and get some sort of like algorithm effect or like being completely removed from the store. So I guess kind of just don't want to risk it, I assume. Get the soundtrack. Snores of the Haradrim, damn son. Yeah, you kind of need to disclose, and a lot of people kind of in general like go like full witch hunting mode. So if you actually used it, then I guess it's kind of like you just know it's gonna be hard to prove, and you just kind of like, well, might as well just admit that I did it like somewhere, but not everywhere, maybe. Witchcraft powers, quest reputation board, headhunts activity, occult gems, earnable raven pet. Damn son, raven pet. New armory, whispers quality life update. The boss powers, quest and reputation board, apparition, incursion activity, earnable feline pet. New IP collab, oh there they go. 2-year anniversary, oh man, already, holy. No, we started back home then still, alright. I was just kind of like, dude, really? Roderick Powers, Quest and Reputation Board, Dungeon Escalation, Earnable Pit. Chaos Powers, new IP collab, and then there is also, you don't see a new expansion in 2026. So this year looks like they completely skip in terms of expansion. Interesting. I thought it will be kind of like once a year or something. It's like they decided to you know, to stock up and get something more poggy, I guess, you know, next year already compared to previous one. Kinda in a way, so okay, I guess, yeah. A portable allow. Parkour Boomer Shooter Metal Eden has a free demo out now, and you can even win some dosh playing it if you are quick enough. Time to learn how to speedrun. You can get like $1,000 or something, wasn't it? If you get on speedrun.com there. Yeah, $1,000. Well, prize pool. Yeah, you're not gonna be getting 1,000, but yeah, the whole prize pool. A share of 1,000 prize pool. Fun demo looks great, I see. Outer Worlds 2, 11 minutes of exclusive gameplay. Alright, if it's commentary...
IGN first.
Okay, is it with commentary here?
For deep dives in the coming
week. Yep, alright, we're not watching this shit. We'll see it when Xbox gonna do their deep dive. I will watch it then. Microsoft fired employees who protested the sale of Gen AI tech to the Israeli military. All of Microsoft has blood in its hands, says now terminated software engineer. Well, Microsoft did what the corporate do. That's why you need the unions and stuff. And not happy with what the company is doing? Well, there you go. You out, bro. The admin is not a single face animation show. Let's see. They're gonna wait. They're gonna show 6th of June, right? I think they're gonna be the whole dedicated Xbox like direct on like centered with the Outer Worlds. So we're gonna watch that instead. Guess like the commentary and stuff, like whatever. We'll watch that. There'll be a commentary, but it will be, you know, like the Xbox one, I guess. So we'll check that. We'll check that. Only 4-player teams, I see, Steve. I see. Everything else is good, though. Huh, interesting. Launched the petition and everything. Approached the stage during the speech from Microsoft AI CEO, calling him war profiteer and declaring all of Microsoft has blood in its hands before being escorted out. Spelled out their grievances in the email. Yeah, just got and just kicked everyone out there. The fish chat, I'll check if that got updated, but yeah, the chat API wasn't working, so not sure they fixed that already. Like Twitch got some changes in the chat going. I'm gonna see if the phishing will be back then. I mean, it will be. They said they're working on it, but yeah, I'm gonna wait for the patch basically. Something in the chat API got changed. So Pony's in here, yeah. He lost the fusion, man. He lost the fusion. Grown more aware of Microsoft's growing role in the military-industrial complex. Well, the thing is, like, I think all the corporate basically now is more or less involved into that because there's a lot of money there. I mean, even fucking Genshin, like MiHoYo is investing into some like the researches and like cold fusion and other stuff. That like I'm 100% sure that there is no like, you know, like disclosure or some sort of claim that they're not gonna be like none of that research gonna be used in some, you know, like interesting applications there. I really doubt it. I do like Mascot Agency. Nice, Sok, nice. That's good to hear, man. It is a really nice game indeed. Indeed. So I think all the Corpo is in now. All the Corpo is in there anyway. Now with Corpus becoming, you know, like super massive and stuff, Corpus becoming international and like, you know, border, trans-nation and stuff, transcontinental. They in for the stonks, so they don't really care about that. Who is who, where it goes. There is profit, man. Yeah, Doixel, yeah. Hunters Inc. A 1-4-player co-op melee FPS featuring rampaging orc hunters. Gigantic monsters to slay in procedurally generated environments teeming with deadly flora and fauna. The Monster Hunter Orcs. To get something like that with Warhammer Orcs. Now that would be dang shit. Now that would be dang shit. July 2025. Shooter mushroom. They just don't even mention that anymore. The words like that. Just in traditional Corpa. That's it. That's it. Corpo is everywhere and everything gonna get privatized and stuff. Yeah, they sure gonna sell all the tech to the highest bidder too, so... welcome to Brightville. I think we... oh, wait. We see this one on one of the announcement shows, right? I remember seeing that's... The gloves gameplay. The magic and steampunk technology collide, yeah, like the immersion sim. Action adventure immersive sim. Play as unique automaton guardian. Explore mysterious city of Brightville. No date though. Love this kind of like the steampunkish kind of like neo-Victorian or whatever they call it nowadays style. It became kind of trendy nowadays, looks like. Can't say I'm against, really. Can't say I'm against. The style itself is nice, depends on the type of games, I guess. What kind of games we're gonna get in those styles and environments. We'll see, we'll see. Palworld creators sign up to publish cozy horror delivery sim Truckful, in which the forest is entirely safe. Yeah, this was also one of the shows, right, I think? So they're gonna be published by the Palworld now, the Palworld guys. We'll see, we'll see. 3D Roadster with boisterous cargo physics. With some horror stuff there. Let's see. That's one of the announcement shows, I remember. Dreadgy with trees, yeah, sorta. I guess you also need to kind of park in the way you don't, you know, drop all the luggage there. Looks like. Gonna drive without dropping everything, I guess. At the Pocket Pair Publishing now. Drive, upgrade, and pack your truck. Explore strange countryside, deliver goods to townspeople, beware of the ancient forest. Monka is... Physics-based car handling gameplay. We'll see, that might be nice. That might be nice. The next showcase. Oh yeah, this is the one. Didn't we see this one also on the show, or it was during the week? Yeah, another Heroes like. I think it was during the week mostly, right? This one was very like Songs of Conquest-ish, especially on the map kinda, on the world map. So they got like a whole showcase there with a bunch of yapping and everything. So I'm gonna skip if there's more game players and stuff there. Well, it's gonna be a quality YouTube action there. Nice portable, nice. YouTube is gonna be... YouTube is gonna be YouTubing as usual. Oh, I'm just gonna open it on Steam, whatever. It's a bunch of yapping there anyway. But yeah, still didn't announce any date or anything. And this we kinda already seen though, huh? And the world map does kinda seem very... very Songs of Conquest-ish, actually. Just kinda like... not as beautiful, I guess. In comparison. Let's hope like the new heroes in summer dropping, and it's just gonna be like mega pog, and everything else is just kind of like, you know, can wait, whatever. That's all I kind of hope for. That's all I kind of hope for. I don't really like this animation style and everything. Spline again or whatever it's called. Like, oh, it always kind of like something about it always makes me kind of like, yeah, not so sure. More than 18 unique units of the area faction. Wait, really? How do you even fit all that shit then? Well, I assume 18 because of the upgrade between or something. It's multiple different stocks. I wonder if it's also like Songs of Conquest-ish style. As in like you have like some sort of like limit on how many you can fit in one slot. Super cheap stop motion, sorry, yeah. In some games it's kind of like, I mean, in most of them it's just kind of like, I don't know, like something about it just like, nothing wrong with it, it's just like, I don't know, like I have this is just kind of like instantly like, you know, minus points for me. Say the same with the Songs of Siren, Silence of the Siren rather. And the Songs of Conquest and Silence. It's also like really like hero-ish stuff. Hard, actually really good. Like I did like almost full campaign. In this one, it's not like it's still there. It's still the same style of animation. It's still the same method of animating. I think it's called Spline, if I remember correct. Spine, is it? All right. And Spine TD, all right. Let's see. But then this one, it kind of is a little better. I don't know. Like it's kind of like because more. Like the sprites maybe like more, you know, detail, or maybe they just kind of like, you know, like with the hands added some more nuance to the animations, but it's still there and it still kind of makes me like, you know, just, man, don't really like that look too much. Game is really good though, like game is really good. At least when I played though, it didn't have like a lot of like, not super balanced things, because I managed to get my hero to some like ridiculous amounts of spell power. Nice to the nice. Damn, got the highest rating on that one. Insane. Play the altars? Not sure. Not sure if I'm on it. If I get my hands on it, the review copy, I will probably at least give it a go. If not, then like, nope. That is basically kind of like my philosophy now, and like so much stuff to play. If I have access to it, I play it. If I don't have access, I usually like don't even go out of my way to try to get it. Really. Hello, Nick. Hello. How we doing? Tops Morrowind on the list. Damn. Time to get some moral lessons there. Let's go. Let's go. To deepen the mascot business. Yeah, mascot business and everything, yeah. Yeah, just like that for me to like a few years ago basically, right? Like it was just kind of like what to play for First Look Friday, you know, like what to get, you know, what to show to people, you know. I'm gonna go contact some, you know, like studios and stuff maybe. See what I can secure. Now it's just like, you know, like you just open email. Like now it's weekend, so email is kind of like chilling today, thankfully. Even though there's still like a few emails that I need to deal with. But like it's like every day you just have like a whole like package like drop there. Like you want some, like big bro. Some even already just like some publishers started already. They just like send you the key. Like, oh yo, like there's the key, no strings attached. You want to play? Please play on stream. We will be very happy. If not, then well. You don't need to. It's all good. But there's like a lot of stuff now. So I'm kind of like... I'm just rolling with that basically. Like, helps with the budget too, you know. It's considering the price of the games. Just, you know, I'm just like... I'm playing what I own. And what I managed to get from developers. Like, you know, kind of managed to save that way too. If I'll get it... Or it's on Game Pass. Game Pass I also use because like that's reasonable price and stuff. That's how I play at Titanfall. Even though they also like kind of like send me like, oh, you're eligible, you can get Titanfall. All right, request. Still silent, and it like I swear they're gonna answer at some point when like all VODs already like got outdated and got deleted. They're gonna answer like, oh, yo, dude, here's the key. Please provide coverage, and you like already played, like, bruh. And that's when I'm gonna keep it. Ah, it's on Game Pass though. Wonder if I can extract some save points from that. Because I could just like go back and just do other endings, and that's it. There you go, guys. I got the coverage in. I technically don't own games on Steam either. Sorta. True. So we'll see. Maybe I will if I get my hands on it. I try to at least like showcase for a couple of hours whatever I get. But nowadays it's so much that I started kind of filtering a bit. Like if I feel like it, I go for it. If I don't, Altars I would. Altars was nice. Altars demo I did enjoy, so that I actually would. Some games nowadays already. Not sure. Can test the first proper update for Schedule 1 now. Not at Chateau LPP. Damn son, one and only. One and only. True. There was actually some specific, like, how you say, guidelines about that, actually. About, like, inheriting the Steam. I don't remember exactly, but basically, yeah, you can't do shit. You dead, your library dead, basically, I think. I think that's how it works. Can't do any inheritance stuff there. Unless you just pass the account, I guess, and not gonna let them know that you actually died. A review on top of gameplay coverage? No, like that like I just like play. That's it. Like they request just streams, no reviews or anything. I kinda want to, but that's the problem. Like I don't know if like just kinda like making something out of my regular stream into review would be viable. I need to kind of come up with something. Like I know a lot of like YouTubers that kind of do that, but that's the thing. They're already like huge YouTubers, so they can just basically like cut like 30 minutes of their stream, like raw pretty much, and be like, well, here's my review of this game, and everyone's spogging. Doing good, MKHP, doing good, huh? Let's see. I think it's more about that your account is kind of like tied to some specific name, and you kind of like, according to TOS and stuff, you're not allowed to like pass your account to anyone else, really. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Blog incoming. The blog is kind of more for like the IRL stuff, but we'll see, I guess. We'll see, I guess. The blog could happen if I well, I mean, I need to, right? At some point to get more into like the YouTube stuff, and then I could use just blog basically being kind of like the text, you know, cheats or the sheet that I can use for the video review or something. We'll see. We'll see. For now, blog is more kind of like for like some IRL stuff, which I need to write more. And I have wanted to, but the time limitations actually kind of kicked in. I also need to cut a bunch of VODs actually and upload to YouTube, because like with all these like morning visits for the bureaucracy to get the registration, I completely like skipped already a few days of VODs uploaded. Annoying. Orbifold has an anti-gravity shooter set inside a giant sphere that looks like a really wild Halo level, created by a high-res programmer. The high-res was, well, I mean, they still are, but yeah, they were doing some dang shit there going. Unreal Engine 5 creation. Monka is. Performance struggling. Now, YouTube is sucking even on the embedded stuff, probably, right? Well, whatever, I guess. Now, working on Orbifold in his spare time for a few years. He doesn't have a store page or press kit just yet. Show it off at an event in Auckland, New Zealand last year. Get a few more details from the project's Zitter feed. The stern caveat is all of this, again, in a state of evolution, certain features might be abandoned. Rivers that flow around inside of the sphere, tunnels, elevators beneath the surface, upgrade system, various enemy android classes, co-op multiplayer, a level editor that could be released alongside the game. We'll see, yeah? Ubisoft are making XCOM-style Rainbow Six game inspired by Siege, claim reports. Allegedly codenamed Slice and Dice. Won't be out for a year or two. I mean, it could be kind of nice, though. Not gonna lie. 1 or 2 years for release. A lot like XCOM, but with fixtures and the loop borrowed from Siege. I'll pick operators based on their skills to raid buildings and save hostages, all the Clancy favorites. Sent to last approximately 25-30 hours. Report been corroborated by Kotaku's Ethan Gotch, who adds in the latest Dead Game newsletter that a project is codenamed Slice and Dice. Led by Eli Benamu, the game director for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We'll see. Yeah, that could be kind of nice, actually. Like some like shooters, like Jagged Alliance, for example. The last one was actually really good. Like, I don't know, I did really have a lot of fun with that one. Well, just like moving countries, right? Like during my playthroughs, I kind of like stopped playing, but I was playing it for a while, and that was actually a lot of fun. That one was really nice. Wait, they got the previous one? Yeah, I did. Helldivers 2 CEO slams the games industry layoff wave, saying that bosses are making regular devs pay for their screw-ups. Do anything but make a classic-style Rainbow Six? True. Who among these executives is stepping down or slashing their salaries? Well, I mean, some actually do, though. Some actually do. Not all of them, far from that, but some actually do. Was it actually the Warner Brothers games or something? Someone stepping down there? So, some kinda actually do. But far from all of them, though. And Giorgiani says he's not interested in significant studio expansion. I want us to be a role model for how to do sustainable growth, because The industry today is not in a good place. A lot of companies are shedding a lot of jobs, and it's not the people at the top that are losing their jobs. It's people who have moved half across the world to take jobs. And that's because of bad growth decisions made by business leaders who have taken stupid risks. Johnny had more vitriol to share elsewhere in the chat. I wish that our industry hadn't shed almost 30, 40, 50,000 jobs over the past 2 years. A lot of people at the top are making very unsound business decisions, and there is very little accountability on their part. Who among these executives is stepping down or slashing their salaries? What's happening is that regular developers are paying the cost of that. That's a terrible way to run our industry. Just because you can hire and triple in size in 6 months doesn't mean you should. Or that it's the best thing for the studio's long-term business health. Not saying don't grow, but do it in a way where you don't have to then let go of 1/3 of the company because you made stupid decisions. Not going to hire 100 people. I would like to do that and help people in the industry, but my first priority is to make sure that people have jobs for many years. Gotta be in. Not false, not false. Fumble getting the deal. Well, I mean, in the first place, the issue was that they got a lot of loans and stuff. Like, they basically, all those acquisitions and all those things were happening on the credit money, pretty much. Like, the Saudi deal was supposed to kind of save them from that. Like, that they would get the money to pay those loans off, right? And continue doing what they were doing. But they didn't get that money, so they needed to pay those loans off themselves. And there was a lot of loans there, so they started kind of like sloshing down all the experience, all the monies, all the expenses, just to pay off the loan. So like Saudi money wasn't even exactly at fault. It was just like their way to save them from their previous dumb decisions. And the dumb decisions were like trying to do that all on the loan. Like it is just approach for the regular business approach to not the regular business, basically. It's like, let's just get a bunch of loan money just to scale our, company more. I mean, I guess in other spheres of business, it's also kind of a bit of a YOLO decision. Let's put it that way, right? When you just kind of like starting some business and instead of trying to take it slow with your stuff, you got like some success and decided, you know what, like I have like a truck company or something, let's just like get the loan and get like 10 more trucks or something and drivers and everything and just, like make 10 times more this way. Nope, not always works like this, far from it. The Swedish hex is too powerful, I see. So kinda weird, man. The Cyberpunk FPS from former Metro devs launches this very month already. The closed Steam beta on the way. La Chimera to release barely a month after reveal. That was very fast. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one though, we'll see. Like we've seen the announcement and stuff. I guess I'll see it in action and see how it is. If I'm actually kind of, interested in stuff. Because I'm mostly not exactly April 12th actually it's starting. Closed 24-hour Steam beta. So I assume it's kind of already even like sort of over almost. So, maybe someone did. Maybe there'll be some info about it. See how it is, I guess. Game company stock values in multiple markets start to tumble in the wake of US tariffs. Yeah, that was quite, well, I mean, still kind of ongoing Fiesta, and now that Fiesta takes turns also in different shifts, but it's still Fiesta nonetheless. Then the Sony both suffered 7-10% stock losses. Parallel Business and NCSoft stocks both down 7%. Some MMO shit though, well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Netmarble Nexon down 5%, Kakao Games down 3%, all of which come as South Korean games industry launched some big titles. What a clown Fiesta, dude, eh? Dustland is an early access multiplayer PvP shooter set in a hostile and dust storm riddled world. Our favorite type of post-apocalypse there. Been in early access since last December. I think we checked this one even before potentially, but a while ago though. Let's see what is happening with this one. I'm actually mostly positive. That is not a lot of reviews though, actually. This one actually kinda going. There's some dank anomalies and stuff. Surprisingly, not bad in terms of reviews, actually, especially recent ones. Holy. Damn, son. The Luna City yesterday, or was today? The Luna City was today. Is nice, is nice. Very old school. Fix the dumb registration system. Extraction looter shooter. Yeah, the Russian devs, I guess. PvP. Oh, you're gonna get ganked at the extraction by cheaters, huh? Ah, I see, I see. Already some fun. Some fun there. Forgotten game, the word is not just now an emote, yeah. No, I streamed both rages. I streamed both rage games. It's alright, even the second one wasn't like that bad. It wasn't that good either, though. And first one is quite rushed, especially second half, but it's alrighty. It's alrighty. It's alrighty. First one is a good piece of history, I guess, if you think about it. The second one I played on release and kind of got like some patches after that made it better, but I think some fuck-ups too after, so... Not sure, not sure. Stars Reach talks Kickstarter test access, world resets, player governance, and player-made contracts. I got the videos. Okay. That's the MMO that just finished Kickstarter recently. Stress test as the game heads into 24/7 access. So this one actually kind of already quite late in development. Maybe we'll somewhat soon get to see what this insane MMO with the like less than $1 billion budget for Kickstarter can look. With big expectations, you know, with big pretense. So we'll see if that will be possible, actually. Here's every winner from 2025's BAFTA Game Awards. And then got some Fiesta going there. Got some Fiesta going there. CJ did I say? Yeah, Rage 1 I think stuff too. Rage 1 was around, we were going like for the first time or something to some of the conventions here or whatever. So I think I had something from that back in the day actually. Back in the day for the first one. Best game winner Astrobot, animation winner Astrobot, artistic achievement winner Neva. Good. Audio achievement Astrobot, British game Thank Goodness You Here, debut game Balatro, evolving game Vampire Survivors, family Astrobot, game Beyond Entertainment, Tales of Kenzera, a game design Astrobot, holy Astrobot like fucking swipe here, multiplayer Helldivers, music Helldivers, narrative and metaphor Refantasio, a new intellectual property Still Wakes the Deep. Performer in the leading role, Alec Newman as Cameron Kaz McLeary Still Wakes the Deep. Performer in supporting role, Karen Dunbar as Finlay Still Wakes the Deep. Technical achievement, Senua Saga Hellblade 2. I mean, true. A fellowship at the Yoko Shimomura. The Astrobot is farming, dude. When getting like the awards for the previous year in like almost middle of April of current year is so weird. I don't know. It's just kind of like everyone already moved on. There's already like new bangers this year out and everything, and it's just kind of like, oh yeah, remember there was those games there. I never understood that really. Like end of the year is like the biggest, the best time. Like Game Awards usually farms really good, right? Like some like early December, like middle of December would be even better maybe. Like so you kind of like, you know, at the end of the year see what happened in the year, and then next year starts, you already kind of, you know, like turn the page and you on the next page already on the next year. You don't really care about what happened the previous one anymore. Strongly feel this AI-powered demo of Quake 2 is an insult to life itself. Please stop. Microsoft developed a playable version of Quake 2 that runs on generative AI. There we go. There we go. The game cannot currently run for longer than 2 minutes, has a very low frame rate, unresponsive controls, and is full of blurry textures. Microsoft's artificial intelligentsia are proud enough of the prototype that they have made it playable online. Would you like to experience novel type of anguish? Come with me. The Microsoft Copilot site it is. Copilot may make mistakes, operates with keyboard controls only, and will prompt you with a pop-up message after 2 minutes to say that the time demo is over. Can reload the page to play it again. Let's see, Genius. Let's see. Yeah, conventions were nice back then, dude. I love conventions. Like back home, we had some nice ones. Back in the day. And then at some point, they just became too fucking massive and big with a lot of people. Then too expensive. And then, well, now they canceled and closed also, so. But it was nice while it lasted. When we also had like a whole gang basically going to farm some like goodies, you know. Some like, you know, keychains, t-shirts, all that stuff. Dude, those were good times, man. That was fun. Also farmed a bunch of World of Tanks shit back then. So in this real-time tech demo, Copilot dynamically generates gameplay sequences inspired by the classic game Quake 2. Every input you make triggers the next AI-generated moment in the game, almost as if you were playing original Quake 2 running on traditional game engine. That actually looks and feels like is a lot of staccato strafing through a surreal slosh of not quite right 90s shooter levels. Enemies sometimes appear and you must shoot them a specified number of times before they die, although will sometimes seem to reanimate. Approaching a wall and then stepping back will result in a trippy reconfiguration of your surroundings, and it's like playing a bad dream of Quake. It's like being trapped in the sad nightmares of John Carmack after an intense binge of VR. So like, I mean, 2 minutes is basically just like live generated as you play. Like I could see something like that kind of being alright for prototyping, right? But will you be able to actually like prototype and telegraph the mechanics you want to see properly that way? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, I guess for AAA Corp, that will kind of like make sense since they produce so much stuff and test so much stuff that it maybe will make sense. I think for someone smaller, it will be literally probably like faster and better to just find like actual testers and everything to do your stuff, rather than like trying to teach the AI to do that. Key Union Equity gathers at BAFTA Game Awards to call for improved conditions for performance. An industry that generates enormous wealth, equity members deserve so much better. Great to see successes of video games industry on show at the BAFTA Game Awards and for the incredible achievements of its workforce to be celebrated. Equity is here to make sure poor practice frequently reported by equity members does not continue to be ignored by industry leaders. The video games industry worth over £7 billion in the UK alone, and in attendance tonight are bosses from some of the richest companies in the world. Yet these companies continue to ignore Equity's calls to work with us and to introduce union-negotiated agreements in the UK that would improve pay and terms and conditions for our members. Pay for video game performance in the UK has stagnated despite games companies receiving almost £200 million in tax breaks. Performance do not have proper protections from artificial intelligence or NDA misuse, and they need safer workplaces so they don't injure their vocals or bodies or experience improper recordings of intimate scenes. The industry that generates enormous wealth, the Equity members deserve much better. That's the genius, I say. No more Cardbuck. Feels bad, man. Bethesda bought the mom and ruined everything. Playing full games generated on the fly by generative AI? Yep, that sounds like dog shit, man. Xbox Game Showcase returns on June 8th. Oh, 8th, alright, not 6th. The year's post-show game Spotlight goes to Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian. So yeah, that's where we're gonna see it. So that 11 minutes of gameplay with the commentary that no one asked for, we can skip, I guess. So yeah, 6th of Joffrey, yeah. So we're gonna watch this too. Gonna watch this one. Gonna be some long streams there. Fans molding about striking voice actors. Cute. Could generate gigading horror for Ella, yeah. Gotta learn on his streams, what works the best, and then create the ultimate horror. Yeah, Kira. Damn, another one. Feels good, man. A UK minister slams Steam for explicit game promoting non-consensual sexual contact and sexual violence. Update, developer Zerat Games announces it will remove title from Steam. Monka is withdraw its sexually explicit visual novel. Ah, I see how it is. Classic. Classic visual novel and jewelry stuff. Posted the game's Steam page no longer accessible to those who have not previously purchased the game. Developer defended its title but confirmed it would be removed from the platform. We don't intend to fight the whole world, and specifically we don't want to cause any problems for Steam and Valve. Response to the game being removed from Steam in the UK yesterday, April 10th, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper told LBC that legislation being introduced as part of the Online Safety Act will make sure that platforms of all kinds meet certain standards. That sort of wild material is already currently illegal. We have stronger powers being brought in as part of Online Safety Act, and those powers are being rolled out at the moment. So what was that? The Zerat Games No Mercy is clearly marked as containing graphic sex and violence, mature language, nudity and graphic sex acts, as well as incest, blackmail and unavoidable non-consensual sex, but is not protected by age verification checks other than instructing players that by clicking the view page button they affirm that they are at least 18 years old. As a premium game, it also requires a card to purchase it with. We expect every one of those tech companies to remove content as soon as they possibly can after being made aware of it. That's what the law requires, that it is what I require as a Secretary of State, and it's certainly how we expect platforms who operate and have the privilege of access to British society and British economy to do. Khan suggested that media and communications watchdog Ofcom should have the offending game removed, although Ofcom said it can't investigate individual complaints. Ofcom is the regulator, they are tasked with enforcing, and they will make the judgment as to whether content is removed in an appropriate time. A Game Ratings Authority, formerly known as Video Standards Agency, administers the PEGI system in the UK. Game ratings provide parents and players information about the content of video games. In the UK, physical game releases must carry a PPG age rating by law. Digital games are not legally required to carry an age rating. Hello. Good day to you too. The majority of leading stores use the trusted PPG age rating process to provide confidence to consumers. Though games on Steam can optionally apply for a PPG age rating via our classification process, it is not mandated by the platform prior to game's release. Games Rating Authority has not classified this game and has not been approached to classify it since its release. The fact that a game like this is available on Steam, one of the world's largest gaming platforms, is utterly unacceptable. Clear and distressing message that violence against women is not only tolerable but playable. That message has no place in our industry, communities, and society. Well, Gibbon removed it. Gibbon did remove it. Well, I mean, there should be a limit to degeneracy, dude. Like, some mega degeneracy, like, it is already on different stores in different places, I guess. Just, you know, keep the degen stuff, you know, where it belongs, I guess. And that's it. That's it. This kind of goes again to this, like, same discussion as like with Twitch, you know, like do you need like to have some like Coomer section and stuff on Twitch, a separate 18+ section? Nah, not really, just separate those things, you know. Yeah, devs removed, yeah. Well, Valve removed it in some countries, and devs just removed it in general everywhere. This was removed by Steam in UK. I think it was also like Australia, New Zealand, I think, or something, Canada. And now the devs removed it themselves. Well, I mean, they just realized that, you know, it probably can end up pretty bad. And if Gibbon is gonna get in trouble, they can get in trouble by Gibbon also. Because I assume it's kind of like also like, you know, makes you liable. Why make it in the first place? Oh, there's a lot of that, like fetish, whatever, dang shit. Like, there's a shitload, like... There's like in some Japanese like sites, some Japanese like stores have like a shitload. Like all the like RPG Maker, dude, that shit has insane amount of Coomer stuff. And some of that Coomer stuff goes in like some insane fetish regions and shit too. I guess like, you know, just leave it there. To be honest, leave it there. People who need that content, they will get it, I guess, there. If the Japan's legislation allows that stuff to be there, then I mean, I guess, if they find with that. But yeah, like the Giga Degen stuff probably better, you know, left in the Giga Degen places. There it is, man. There it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of audience for that. Like, I think a lot of those games are like mostly like already like very dank stuff, because it's also like a lot of them just like trying to play into like a lot of different fetishes and everything too. And, you know, the more you manage to hit in your game, the more, you know, people of different... It's kind of like with genres in a way, you know. But I guess it kind of works differently. You don't want to mix too many genres in your game, because it will become too much, you know, to handle for people if it's too many genres. But with Coomer stuff, that works just fine. The more genres they get, the more people who enjoy those genres will buy the game and play it, you know. Basically. So they just get a lot of it in. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. And like the RPG Maker is just like... It's just farming that stuff. Like, holy amount of stuff. Like, I wonder like if there's like some sort of statistics how many like actual games were made in RPG Maker, like commercially, right? And how many Coomer games were made there. Because I think Coomer games probably way more. Sì, Gini, let's see. Sì, I see. We can ask for any content they don't agree would be removed. I do think like it actually does say here though. Yeah. This sort of vile material is already currently illegal. Like, it's not actually like activists do it. It's like the, you know, the Home Secretary and everything. So, like, it's not some activist man doing that. That's actually, you know, like the government just says that that shit is already banned here. So, like, if it's banned content, like, kind of like, yeah, you can be mad that in Germany a bunch of games are banned. Sucks. Absolutely agree, but like it is what it is, and it's already like banned for way less things than having all this like, you know, dink sexual violence and stuff going there. Let's put it that way. CJ needs to see, huh? Yeah, there should be like probable, like I don't know, like it depends on the legislation, right? Because like in some of these topics, clearly in many countries would be just forbidden. Like if it's like, yeah, like it's literal, you know, like a rape and stuff, like probably not something that a lot of countries will like having, you know, available for their citizens on some like store where you also where the kids, you know, like playing some like some multiplayer game or something, you know. In many countries that stuff is completely just off the charts. Like I don't think you can get like just on Steam just any Coomer stuff, and like I don't think in any country I've been so far you can just get the Coomer stuff straight up. Like I don't think it's even there in the search and stuff. It's just removed completely. Removing pretty soft degen stuff, I say. The normie tier hentai. Well, I mean, that again kind of goes into same like this the discussion that was happening around like the Twitch streams, right? Like where you draw the line, what should be allowed on platform, what should be in a separate category, and that what should be off the platform completely. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Because like with hentai and everything in general, it also kind of like, you know, like very like how different countries will also kind of like handle that. But then again, in some countries that stuff all completely just gone. Like here, I think, like in Armenia, Georgia, and Russia, I think like that all kind of like pretty much whole segment of like the Coomer stuff is just kind of like out. Some like super softcore things that usually also have like, I guess, you know, like completely free of Coomer stuff version, and then you need the patch or something. Those things sometimes are available, I think. But everything that has like straight up, you know, like some already like way too dang stuff on the Steam page, that is all just like instantly banned completely. You just can't even access that. I think that way is actually kind of works too. Just you just need to put some work in the store like this, right? Just like some sort of like regulations by country, and then just like filter the games by that. But Gaben doesn't do that, you know. Gaben doesn't like tag. Gaben doesn't even tag the games themselves, right? And don't check the tags, so they have no control and they don't want to. They just rather remove like everything. And that's it. Expanded version of Switch exclusive Disney Illusion Island that jumps to new platforms this May. So Illusion Island go in there. With new content even. May 30th. For enjoyers of Disney then. That one was actually kind of pretty decent apparently. Nintendo says Mario Kart World's value justifies its $80 price. That's a very cool story, bro. Well, just like a lot of like retelling of the events, which we perfectly know already. Way too good even. Oh, there we go. Let's say less about the strategy of pricing Mario Kart World. It's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what it's the experience, what's the content, and what's the value. This game is a game that is so big and so vast, and you will find so many little things in it to discover. And there is still some other secrets remaining that I think people end up buying and playing the game. They're going to find this to be probably the richest Mario Kart experience they've ever had. How about you get the usual experience, but for the regular price too? That would be good probably too already. True, though, it's true, huh? Encourages fans wondering about Mario Kart World price tag to tune into Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct scheduled for April 17th. Deals will further explain why the title carries a value that warrants an $80 price tag. And I think it's like one of those situations is like, you know, like what you mentioned about the meal sort of. And like some things, no matter how much you want to convince me they cost that much, like, alright, maybe you have a point, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna buy it for that price, you know. No matter how good your meal is, you know, there is a line past which I'm just like, no matter how it's good, I'm just not even gonna go for that. Let's put it that way. Now, you can make it better and better and better, but past some point, you know, like, nah. If we look at what the game has to offer, I think fans will find this an incredibly full, deeply immersive experience. The thing is, like, pretty much all the games they said already gonna be like 80, 90 bucks. So, like, is it, all of them are insanely, you know, immersive, outstanding, full experiences and stuff. Just all of them. AoE. The value the dev think it is and the value the buyers think it is. Yeah, and not everyone needs that. Like, do I need, like, secrets and shit in, like, the Mario... Like, if I would be playing Mario Kart, right? Like, I care about, like, the racing part, right? Like, for example, like, if I play with friends, I just want it to be, like, a good racing game with good, like, you know, like, no lag. You know, good controls, nice maps. A lot of maps, too, right? Because we're gonna be playing with friends, like, regularly, let's say, right? That's what I care about. Do I care about some secrets and shit? No. Like, I just want a good racing game. That's it. That's why I'm buying it. Like, I don't care about your, like, lore, world building and shit like this. Kind of like with Marathon, for example. Again, back to it, right? Like, if I go in for extraction shooter experience, I don't care about your story. I don't care what kind of lore you're gonna put there in the notes on the PC, you know? Like, I'm not gonna read that because I'm gonna get killed while I'm reading that shit, right? Like, I don't care about this shit. Like, I need the core experience to be good, you know. I don't need this padding on top of that. Oh, we got like this mode there, you know. Like, I don't need this, dude. I'm buying racing game. I don't need car RPG in this game. If I want car RPG, I will get car RPG, you know. That's deep shit, I see. I'd like, and I think like why people's extra mad in this case is because Nintendo barely does discounts, and when they do, those discounts are dog shit. And people just kind of realize, right, that like when it's PC game that is going for like 80 bucks, you know that like, give it a few months, man, and I'm gonna get it like for 40 or something already. When it's this one, give it like 30 years and it's still gonna be 80 bucks and stuff, you know. So like, that is why people, I think, like extra mad, because they just realize, like, in the context of the platform, how bad it is. Like 80 bucks on PC and 80 bucks on like Nintendo is different shit. Yeah, I do think it would be like way better if they would try to kind of like, you know, just like stretch the stuff. That's the problem. They will do it anyway. They're gonna sell you, you know, like the initial package for a bunch, and then they're gonna still give you all those DLCs anyway, which would be still kind of nice. Get like the gateway drug, you know, very cheap and stuff, and then slowly start building up on top of that for extra money. But they actually kind of want the other way. They want like this gateway to be expensive, so people who go in for just a couple of hours and then abandon the game forever and never buy DLC, they want those to pay as much as possible. And then the rest already gonna be milked by the DLCs. Imagine fan-made Mario Kart levels, true. Brassline Entertainment lays off 13 as it realigns its team. You know, needed to get the mandatory layoff post, I guess. Basically. There's not that much already. Not that much going on, looks like. So, gotta add some to keep, you know, the spirit going, I guess. Sorta. Ubisoft responds to the Crew lawsuit by denying players had unfettered ownership of the game. Oh, so they once again telling us we don't own shit. Who would have thought? The game's servers were shut down in March 2024. Publisher response says that plaintiffs allege they were purchasing unfettered ownership rights in the game, when the reality is they were purchasing a license. Plaintiff apply a kitchen sink approach on behalf of a putative class of nationwide customers, alleging 8 causes of action, including violations of California's false advertising law, unfair competition law, and Consumer Legal Remedies Act, as well as common law fraud and the breach of warranty claims. Ubisoft representatives also said plaintiffs' claims are time-barred, therefore beyond the 4-year statute of limitations for a claim from when they purchased the Crew. And they defending it hard there. The packaging of the Crew made the limited license element clear, and that the plaintiffs did not allege a cognizable injury. Ubisoft drew attention to numerous notices on images it provided the physical packaging for the game, including 30-day shutdown notice and online play requirements. Also rebutted a specific point about Ubisoft closing Crew servers without creating an offline version of the game. After making their purchases, plaintiffs enjoyed access to the Crew for years before Ubisoft decided in late 2023 to retire and shut down the servers of the 10-year-old video game. Plaintiffs received the benefit of their bargain and cannot complain now that they were deceived simply because Ubisoft did not then create an offline version of the discontinued video game. Yeah, so we ain't gonna be getting shit basically, you know. Let's put it that way. Japanese devs like Sony and Bandai Namco fold winter bonus into base salary in a bid to attract new talent. It is thought that the salary boost comes as companies compete for staff. Not enough staff there. Time to move, man. Time to move. Let's go. But then they don't need you, though. Then they don't need you. They want only local stuff. Or someone very, very dank. And then probably local, too. Star Citizen funding reaches $800 million. Cloud Imperium's multiplayer remains in early access, aiming for the 2026 launch. Oh, damn, there's a launch year already. Insane. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see, Steve. I see. Yeah, you don't own shit in general. They don't... you don't own shit in general, yeah. That's sadly the normal state of things. T1 2K starting there, yeah. Odd numbers there. Starting salary for certain entry-level positions at Sony increased by around $330 per month. Bandai Namco starting salaries increased from around $1,500 a month to $1,980 and have recently increased again by another $100 per month. No, so they do have $2,000 per month. They do. The Molasses Flood merges into CD Projekt Red. Deal occurred on April 1st, 2025. CD Projekt Red initially acquired the Boston-based developer in 2021. A low salary for software dev? Yeah, I'm not sure about the scene in Japan, but yeah, that does sound like it. That does sound really low. Like, honestly, even for, like, local market, for example, or like Russia, you know, post-Soviet states, like that is even kind of like, well, for entry level, maybe it would be kind of alright if you have completely zero experience and stuff. That would slide, sorta. But yeah, normally it is not that big. I assume it's already past taxes, though, at least. If it's before, then like, oof. On the April 1st, yeah. It ain't a joke, though. Ain't a joke. Breaks down organizational barriers and better integrates Molasses Flood team into the rest of the amazing CDPR organization. Overall shows a very bright future for Project Sirius. Going to be an amazing game, and I cannot wait until the rest of the world learns about what we've been working on. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders delayed in Canada. Tariffs in the US have delayed original April 9th date. I assume they have like a lot of, you know, supply lines basically going through US, and now they need to redo all this like supply chain and stuff and network. At least for North America and stuff. Monke is Janis. PC and console gaming declined by 2% to 80 billion in 2024. Firm estimates PC and console gaming market to reach 92.7 billion by 2027. We'll see, we'll see. Nintendo says $450 price tag for Switch 2 was not affected by US tariffs, so basically it's gonna be more. Firm is actively assessing what the impact may be after delaying pre-orders for the console in the US. I think all the like PCs and mobile phones and stuff are exempt from tariffs now, right? So will that affect consoles and stuff too, I wonder? It's like what even like gonna end up like? Tariffs are there, but everything is basically kind of exempt from the tariffs. So they just kind of like, you know, they exist there on paper or something. That's kind of interesting, you know, like the interesting, like, just strat to sort of like manipulate the market. Like, brother just goes out like, you know, we have like, you know, mega tariffs on everything. Boom, all market fucking falls, burns, drops, you know, like people with stonkus, people in the know, just basically, you know, pick up a bunch of like, you know, dip. And he like goes like, well, but yeah, like everything is exempt from tariffs. Boom. Markets all grow again. Companies grows. Whoever was in the know and bought the dip, you know, instantly kind of gets like mega profits there. It's just like so weird, man. Two-minute poster for presentation, yeah. Nintendo Switch 2 game prices so high according to analysts. Alright, let's see what analysts have to say about this one. Against the backdrop of global inflation, good opportunity for Nintendo now to set the stage for the future and raise prices across the board. Look at the industry and see Sony charging $700 for PS5 Pro, or rumors about price hikes for blockbusters like the GTA 6. Nintendo was also encouraged by the fact that they got away with the $70 they charged for Tears of the Kingdom in 2023. But even simpler, I think they raise software prices across all the regions because they think they can. That's probably the answer, really. Predicting fans will come to adjust to the prices. Nintendo already priced in the protest and uproar by part of the fanbase, betting this will all blow off and the gamers will come to accept the new normal eventually. And I think they will be correct about this. Yeah, probably. I think so. I think so. $80 for Mario Kart World reflects the recent inflation we've seen across all areas of consumer goods as a benchmark for the new platform, and is also because Nintendo is not aggressively pursuing in-game monetization to offset rising costs. I mean, that I think is kind of partially true though, right? Like they don't go ham with all the microtransactions. So I guess that kind of tracks. That kind of tracks. No microtransactions at all. The Mario Kart map thing. Alright, let's see. Nice enough. It's time to leave the keyboard, man. I got too much, brother. Give the good Donkey Kong pants. Book. Book. Nintendo has a bit of a history of pricing games higher than other platforms when coming to the market mid-cycle compared to other console platforms. They N64 titles being more than PlayStation titles, for example. Some of that is related to cost of goods, but Nintendo also likes to follow its own approach and price based on its own appreciation of value. Well, I mean, judging by what they just said about the Mario Kart, right? That sounds like that's exactly what they did there. Less about strategy of pricing Mario Kart World, it's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what the experience and what the content and what's the value. Don't expect the pricing to stop early adopters buying into Mario Kart World, and many will be buying the bundle anyway. Based on this, I think some top-tier Nintendo titles will launch at this price point, and some third parties will also follow suit. I mean, most likely. I doubt anything. 80 prices will go down. I doubt it. That rarely happens. Don't see this as being a massive challenge for year one for Switch 2 in particular. But we're in interesting times with some unprecedented, at least in anyone's current lifetime factors. I think the more interesting question is what may happen with the rest of the video game market, particularly in the US. My read is that the most likely scenario is that we'll see video game product pricing start to rise in the US, although these changes may not be consistent or universal. I'm also expecting consumers will shift even more to free-to-play live service games as they try to grapple with increased costs and everyday spending categories like food. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what I also always mention. There's like so much like free shit now going on around on all the platforms that like a lot of people just not even gonna buy anything because like why? You already have all those live services that you can grind of all kinds for all tastes, you know. And why even like buy anything? Snoop Dogg to Mario Kart, yeah. Anticipate the console market in particular to continue to shift to older and or more affluent consumers, so as other parts of the market will lean even more into readily available and accessible mobile and PC gaming. Also expecting decline of physical software sales to accelerate even more, as physical versions of games may end up carrying higher pricing than digital versions. Yep, that's what they so far doing there. Perhaps only some, or even none, of those expectations will end up playing out. Who knows? Yeah, I think it's because they can, basically. I do think it's because they can. Sergeant Studios is still cooking a Project USO outside of a Pocket Pair deal. Yeah, we have that, we have that. Ambitious, choice-driven RPG with beat-em-up vibes. I bumped into Abubakar Salim, founder Sergeant above the Game Awards. A universe still alive. Extension of Kenzera Zao. Also is still cooking. I think the way that I'm approaching design and game dev process is we want to build things that all feed into the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game. Uso is still cooking. Man, the universe is still alive, and that's very exciting. There are other games as well. I think one of the reasons we wanted to reveal Uso was that was one of those games that we felt really passionate about, and not many people do this, not many people share in the industry. Something that they're just cooking and seeing what happens. Still things that we need to work with and still need to conjure with that game. It's a big game, very ambitious, and what we want to do with it. Abubakar Salim explains why the price of games should remain accessible. Let's see. And just a bunch of water there, a bunch of search engine optimization. Can look back to myself as a kid and what I was allowed to play, and you know, I had like my 1 or 2 games that I got a year, right? Now in position where I'm able to play more, but I think about the kids of today and what they're able to play and what they have access to, and I think, you know, the reason why we made Zao $20 was because it was like, what's the price of pizza? What's the price of something that you will get mates around and enjoy, have an experience with? And that was essentially where that mentality was. People kind of forget that accessibility also accounts to socioeconomics. Money, man. We are in a very tough time at the moment, so why make it harder and have that bar eventually so high? Yeah, I was a bit upset about the price changes because Nintendo is a family game, Nintendo is a family genre, it's a family platform. More and more people will bow out. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be just kind of like this cycle, the circle, the spiral, just gonna kind of like go bad for them because like they increase the prices, they increase the budgets, which leads to even more increase in prices, right? Which leads to the situation where you need to pump even more into marketing and stuff, right? Because you need to fight other games that also pump a lot of money in the budgets and in the market, in the marketing. And it's just kind of like, you know, like everyone just kind of like, you know, going higher and higher and crazier in the bounce. And some people slowly just kind of like, you know, falling out of this circle because they just can't fight anymore, you know, can't handle the competition and stuff. And they just kind of like fold and die. But it's going to be happening when the prices are like already at like the crazy levels. When it's fall is already very painful, you know. Because every fail at those sizes of budgets become already like, you know, pretty much like soul crushing, bankruptcy-inducing, company dying, you know, sorta. Das weird. Going back to the roots with yeah, there were some times with expensive games. Like back home, for example, just the regional prices weren't the thing, obviously, right? And like legit, you know, licensed games were like really rare and hard to find, like in special stores, and the prices were insane for those. Like I had 2 in all my life, like the 2 gifted boxed legit games back then, and I like treasure them because that shit was like it, like I don't know, like half the salary pretty much back then was you needed to like pay, like, you know, like kind of average sort of salary, you needed to pay like almost half of it pretty much just to buy one boxed game for like licensed one with like the manual in the box, you know, all those things. Not even collectible, just kind of like the game copy, manual, you know, and pretty much it, I guess. That was the only 2 I had in all time. Because, like, yeah, like, who would afford that? It just basically was just some, like, gifts for some, like, big, you know, like some birthday or something, you know, really rare. The whole family, you know, like, gathering money just to kind of, like, buy me that gift, for example. And one of them was, like, some point-and-click fucking quest that was complete dog shit, and I was like, well, I mean, that was sad. So much money was wasted on that. I still gave it a go because, you know, expensive or good gift, but yeah, that was sad. That one was sad. But yeah, it's just kind of like different times also. Like nowadays you compete also with live services and everything too. Like it's not even about the fact can people afford it, it's the fact do people want to afford it. That's the thing. Like even with me, right? Like I have like keys by the devs, so I kind of like in the privileged position here, can't complain absolutely. But like, yeah, like like there's so much I can play for free thanks to my like streaming and stuff, right? That I'm just not even buying stuff really because like why? I have plenty of stuff. Regular person doesn't have such privilege, right? But regular person still has access to subscriptions, which have a lot of stuff, right? Regular person probably, if they're around for a while, have a whole backlog of things to play, right? Shitload usually of things. Even if you just like were gathering like some free Epic Games, you know, store stuff, free like Prime stuff, you know, that kind of shit. You already have like kind of backlog there, sort of in a way. And then add like live services on some MMOs. You know, like some roguelikes that like each can give you like hundreds of hours easily, and like yeah, you good, you solid, while like spending even more. Like you basically need to be like mega excited for something, in my opinion. Like for me personally, right? Like the only game I bought for like a bunch, like $60, I think, I guess, with regional price sorta, was Diablo 4. Just because friends wanted to play and we all decided to buy and play because like we played all the previous Diablo games, we like Diablo, right? And like let's do it together. That was the only way, the only reason. Like, if it wouldn't be for friends and stuff, I wouldn't be doing it. That was the only one in a while I got for that amount of money. And not sure what else I would buy nowadays, even that with that amount of money. Some like MMO or something if everyone would decide to play, maybe, kinda. Only that, maybe. And not sure even. True portable, true. Yeah, regional prices kind of make it a little better. I like back in the day with regional prices, like when games were basically like $50 and back home stuff was like $20-30 in that range. I was buying like a bunch of games. Like just on release and every sale I was buying a bunch of stuff basically. Like I was buying a bunch of games with those prices. Nowadays, like even like if I wouldn't be streaming, wouldn't be getting the keys and stuff, right? Like I probably would minimize the amount of stuff I buy like hard. Because like a backlog and stuff, like I would be loaded for a while. I can always, you know, just return. I have like ESO, Fallout 76, you know, fucking New World, I guess, get the DLC and get like a whole bunch of like time out of that game, right? Replay some old stuff. Play some stuff that you haven't played, get some into some roguelikes again. Like, dude, there's like plenty of stuff to do, really. Let's see, Steve, I see. Family share and stuff. Yeah, like a lot of people like resort also to using, you know, this account sharing, family sharing, trading accounts, you know, like all those dang stuff. Used copies trading, and not to mention piracy and stuff. Also gonna be increasing for sure with like the prices growing and stuff. Like I don't know, like I see why they increase, but I also kind of like maybe it isn't exactly one of those decisions where, you know, like the more expensive equals more money to you. Like maybe keeping it reasonable would be actually in the long run like better. Like, keep the margins low, but the volume higher, you know, let's put it that way. I see Slavic, I see. Nice, nice. People have only so much to spend, yeah? And, like, the more, like, you know, the prices grow for everything, like, you notice that, right? Everywhere. Like, the less budgets become for, like, entertainment. Like, entertainment suffers always the most, right? Because that's something you can kind of live without, really. Then, and not to mention, you don't need to live without it, because you have like all those backlogs and live services. Even if you don't have a backlog, right? You just kind of like decided to start gaming now. You just never did, but like got like PC like really good offer or something, and you just kind of like, I want to become a gamer now. Like any sale, you just go in, and for like for those $80, you can buy like a shitload of stuff. Like really good, like the Doom 2016 you got for $2 right now. That's a really solid, great game for $2 Like how much others you can get to fit in the $80 and like more, it's crazy. You can just like get yourself a library for like a few months probably of like a couple of hours per day playing. With that amount of money, not to mention roguelikes or like live services and stuff. So it's like, it's not like you do need to kind of like do regular economy, right? But like, okay, we spend that much on development and all the expenses are that much, so we kind of, you know, need to charge that much. Sure, but you also need to take into account all the environment around, because you can't just do like raw mods there. Yeah, you have Game Pass and stuff too. True, true. A Balacha creator fires back at YouTube age restricting videos of the game. There it goes again. Balacha videos being rated 18 plus on YouTube now for gambling. Good thing we are protecting children from knowing what a 4 of a kind is and letting them watch CS case opening videos instead. True. Yeah, bundles and stuff. Yep. Fanatical actually have a bundle right now for Easter also going that you can build and stuff, so You can use those too, like Fanatical and stuff, right? Like you can get like some dank offers, humble choice and everything every month, right? A whole bunch of shit. And not to mention, if you like in community, like we have a lot of people, for example, in Discord, like pretty much every month, like, yo guys, I have like these keys left for games like anyone needs. Like you can always like get something like pretty much for free or really cheap. Yeah, Fanatical got some like Easter bundle, I think, coming or something. Twin Sails Interactive becomes independent from Asmodee Group. Wasn't Asmodee also bought by Embracer, or it was someone else? The time with Asmodee provided us with invaluable experience. Time within Asmodee provided with invaluable experience. As an independent publisher, we move forward with confidence, ready to pursue a bold and energized vision for the future. Amid success and innovate. Known for releasing digital versions of board games, including Gloomhaven, Terraforming Mars, and Catan titles. I see. Since published games including Ember Knights, Survival Fountain of Youth, and News Tower. Yeah, Asmodee was acquired by Embracer, so they basically kind of like trying to farm more monies that way, I assume. Trying to spin off more and more things to get some monies. Triple I Initiative Showcase 2025, everything announced. We watched this one, so Neverway, yeah, that one was dank. Like, art is really good. Not sure about gameplay. Art was really looking really cool. A Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. I don't know, man. We'll see about that one. Maybe not exactly my jam. Fuse of Metal, I kinda like not really that excited. Sacrifier. Which one was this one? God, man, this fucking YouTube lug there. Oh, it's a kind of JRPG-ish one. That one was okay. I played the demo of that one. That was nice. And this Legend 2, playing at the moment, previewing. Very nice. I like it so far. Frosttrail, we'll see. Like the train survival stuff. I mean, could be. Not sure. Moonlighter, personally not really that interested, but looked nice. Starbirds might be interesting. Escape Simulator 2, yeah, not my jam. Outbound, not sure also. Like, kind of like this, the multiplayer, you know, kind of cozy stuff. Could be nice, but yeah, I think it is mostly multiplayer, so yeah, I'm not sure if it's my jam. Shrouded, kind of not exactly mine. Timberborn looks good, not sure if my stuff. Blast Blue, not my jam. Opus Prison Break, also not my jam. Blacksmith Master demo was nice. Might play the release too. Here's Might and Magic Old Nira. That I'm like super excited and waiting for this one. Gonna be playing that stuff. A Deeper Galactic Survivor release date for 1.0. Don't really care too much. Alters, nice stuff. Might demo was really good. Speedrunners 2, not my jam. Over the Hill might be alrighty. Super Fantasy Kingdom, also good demo, might play. X4, no, I mean, looks really cool, but like, don't think it's my jam, really. And it doesn't seem much like a stream game. It's something you need to sink a lot of time in, probably, to even get rematch. Not my jam. Vampire Survivors, whatever. Ikuma, also kinda not exactly my jam. Shapes 2, not really. V-Rising, kinda also not my cup of tea. The CES might be kinda interesting, we'll see. Like 1.0 and stuff, could be. Dusk Fade, not my jam. Morbid Metal, it could be kinda alright, but I don't know, like from the looks of it, not so sure, really. Eternal Life of Goldman, like platforming is not my cup of tea, but we'll see though. The art is really cool though. Into the Fire, interesting stuff, probably. Clover Pit, most likely gonna check that out. Good stuff. Though I'm not a human, like looked really dank. Not sure if it's like exactly my genre, but looked really dank. Void Breaker World Premiere. We noticed that there is no odds there. By the way, there is no odds because the Surfshark is working. There it is, man. Feels good. 1,143 blocked, dude. By the way, there it is. Thank you, Surfshark. Appreciate it a lot. Slavic is already using, by the way. Feels good, man. There it is. There it is. Avoid the breaker. That might be nice. Katana Zero. Ooh, yeah, that's good stuff. The problem is I forgot already, like, you know, the original game, what was happening really that much. But that is good, though. We'll see. Nice show it was. Battlefield 6 developers comment on skill-based matchmaking and the vast amount of Battlefield Labs leaks. 2042 has skill-based matchmaking according to this definition. This is what I tried to detail above yesterday. Has factor skill, it is used, but ping and time to game is the top priority. 64-player game is to spawn a server that starts as soon as possible. Thus, the skill factor is negligible in terms of sorting into servers. Also, with a party that is more or less ignored. Just for clarity, saying skill-based matchmaking is bad is not really useful. What you really want to say is heavy skill-based matchmaking, where the skill separation is a priority, is bad. That doesn't make skill as a factor in matchmaking bad wholesale. On the contrary, we need a skill value to make balanced teams, no matter the ranges of skills total on the server. Wouldn't it be fun if all high-skill players ended up on the same team, wouldn't it? Just to calm this thing down at that, the fact skill value is in the matchmaker. It's been there since we started being able to matchmake, by the way. Doesn't mean we are going with a heavy-handed skill-based matchmaking solution. Quite the opposite. Battlefield is at its best when you play the all-out war modes with friends and different types of players. We do not want to limit that. Yeah, you can have like all the types of players as long as the teams are kind of balanced between each other. Like inside the team, whatever. As long as, like, you know, each team has like 5 noobs, 5 MLG players, like, fine, so be it. If one has like 10 noobs and another 10 MLG players, now that already is a little worse. All of this is also true, skill being important for team balancing. Regardless of in which way you join a server for reference, did you feel like a Battlefield Labs playtest were heavy-handed skill-based matchmaking? No? Then we good. Same matchmaker and settings we'll use, with tweaks if we find any issues, of course. Sounds good, huh? Kingdom Comes, Tom McKay labels game success a fever dream. Studio had huge expectations based on the first game. A ton of effort went into development of the second game, and they took their time. They put everything they had into it. Certainly proud of the product and knew that what they had was a good thing, but you can never predict how people will see that. Ultimately, it's the players who are the most important reviewers of all. Kind of energy and support and positivity that we had from the fans has been incredible, and I don't think any of us anticipated that. I certainly didn't. That's good, though. I made good stuff, and then it actually ended up good stuff, and people thought it's good stuff. That is nice. That is rare. Yeah, Marathon is not free to play. Will be a premium game. So there is no exact, you know, price, but yeah, it's not gonna be free at least. Nobody's interested in playing a game that is made by AI, Neil Newborn says. Got that guy too. Deciding how we can use and galvanize the goodwill that we've got at the moment, and also how to better represent and try to champion actors. A big part of it is really just about the conversation to not use AI to supplement performers, but also on the fact that game actors are actors. We are not just voice actors, and we are doing as good work as films and television, theater. Actually, just to make people aware that some of these incredible talented people should continue to work. There's a lot of talk about AI performers. It is honestly boring as hell. Nobody really wants to use them. I've spoken to many people in the industry, developers as well. Well, that's the thing. Developers don't want to use them. Developers develop. They know. Who wants to use them as the corpus? Corpus wants to make profits. They don't care who you use. If it's cheap, that's good. Problem is awareness of this, and making people aware that these actors are doing such incredible, sometimes very challenging experiences in a good way, but they deserve to be honored. Well, I do have to say that like with recent games, we did kind of get that now. Like back in the day, like barely any voice actors were kind of known, just like a couple of them pretty much. I guess people were recognizing, right? Nowadays, you already have a lot of voice actors that became kind of like stars, sort of, you know, like Ben Starr, literally Starr himself, right? So, like, that actually is going somewhere good, though. That is nice. That is actually nice. So, a lot of, like, voice actors actually getting recognition and some sort of, like, fame that they deserve also. Making the names for themselves. Yeah, those already kind of, like, can also be, you know, the voices for the whole industry. Like, you can't really, like, just... Well, let's just replace these guys completely, because these guys gonna bring awareness to that. They're gonna mention that, you know, this all goes full AI slope shit, guys. And we don't want that. So the studios still want to get them on board. And then they can't really cut corners too. When they open this one to the second time. PS Plus prices are rising in some regions. Oh, there we go. Time to cut more regional prices. South American countries, such as Brazil, as well as in Oceania and certain Asian countries, including Malaysia, China, Singapore, and Thailand. There it is. Time to cut some prices again. Well, increase some prices. Cut some finances for people, I guess. PlayStation goal is to align subscription prices with those in the United States. Yep, do people there earn United States salaries though? That's the problem. 12-month PlayStation Plus Extra, for example, sold for $100. Existing users in Brazil will now pay 546 reals, 12% increase, which is equivalent to $92.67. Price globalization movement disregards macroeconomic factors such as disparities in purchasing power and the different levels of inflation in various countries. Yes, sir. And that is exactly the main problem of all this. Like on subscription, like 100 per year on like a year range, you maybe don't notice it like that crazy hard. Even though for some people that like way more noticeable, of course. But like when it also applies to every single game such increase, you kind of notice that way more. Lies of P Publishers, Brown Dust 2 is going viral for all the wrong reasons you can imagine. Bonka is, yeah, I think I kind of like... They did post some of this. Brown Dust 2 is breaking the internet with its risky content. Yeah, I did check their announcement tweet. Yeah, that probably not that good to show on stream, to be honest. I'll tell you that. But yeah, they announced new gacha characters and like, holy Coomer Bay, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like that shit, the April 9th X reveal trailer. So you can check on Brown Dust Twitter basically. Like, holy shit, dude. The funniest part is like such a dank, like mega juicy Coomer art, and then you just see the gameplay right after that, and it's just like, huh, bro, why? Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 8 update has finally been given a release date. November 2024. Dude, didn't they say, like, they done? Is this the last one then? Gotcha better than gotcha? True. Absolutely true. Oh, there it is, huh? Breath of the Wild and its DLC is $90 on Nintendo Switch too, huh? And no matter how you try and play the game on Nintendo Switch 2, For those looking to buy the game outright, it will set you back $70 plus $20 DLC, taking you to $90. For those looking to upgrade from original Nintendo Switch version, you'll still have to buy the game for $60. Well, assuming you don't have on Switch version, right? Need to buy Enhanced Edition for additional $10, and on the $20 for the DLC, and you are at the $90 price point once again. Well, I mean, if you own the game already for 60, I wonder how the $20 DLC works. Like that, if you own current Switch, $60 game, $20 DLC. Is it just $10 upgrade and you good? Or do you need to upgrade DLC separately? Buy the DLC on new version. I assume it's just one upgrade, probably. I hope. Let's see what I say. Half a year to clear for you. Do it. Do it. Deportable, I say. Coomers, man. That's the main point. Titanfall attracted 2 million players since launch. They've eaten 14 billions tins of meat. Damn, son. Titanfall was nice. Had its issues, but I did enjoy it. Over 2 million people. Now, that's the thing. Like, Game Pass, 2 million. Then you have the South of Midnight, whatever, right? And they don't report shit. So I assume the numbers are kind of way worse. Way worse. See what I say. Balatra creator praises Blueprints as one of the best games he's ever played. Get the journal, a pen, and buy the game already. Balatra enjoyers enjoying. One of the best games I've ever played, and I still feel like I'm scratching the surface. Released today, but lucky me, I've been playing it all week. Perks of the job. The dev's also getting the review copies, huh? What is this? What is this? The play on Blueprints. Yeah, it just made me realize, actually. Didn't think about it. Mafia the Old Country release date revealed on Steam. It looks as though game will be released on August 8th. Previously, game only had a window of 2025. Well, 2025 summer, I think window was. So August 8th. Available August 8th. Pre-order now PlayStation, Xbox Series. Stay tuned. Official Mafia website for more information. CG needs to say. PC gaming gained more players than console in 2024. And the PC enjoyer is growing. Together they all dropped, but I guess PC gamer is actually growing and console is actually going down there. Schedule 1 creator gives console port update after imitations appear on PlayStation. Dude, like, why you read like developers molding all the time that it's so hard to get your shit out on like consoles on PlayStation, and then like someone just like literally like publishes the ripoffs, no problems. Like, how does that work, dude? Maybe aware there have been some games on PlayStation Store appearing over the past few weeks with the name Schedule 1 in them. Just confirming these are not affiliated with me in any way. I'd love to port Schedule to a console when the game is at the right stage for that, but I will announce it to Schedule 1 community well before it happens. You know, much like stuff like dropped on the guy now. Like expectations and stuff. At least they pumping updates real hard. I mean, they have body and stuff, right? Tyler 1, yeah. True, actually. No, Tyler Schedule 1, though. Just Tyler, alright. Tyler TVGS. Oh yeah, it does say here though. Tyler 1 also commented on Schedule 1 platform status and plans, yeah. The Freudian sleep there. I see how it is, huh? See to the nice see, huh? No, I see portable, I see, huh? Sprinkling some SEO in the article. I would with Tyler 1. That's an interesting one. Well, they do be sprinkling a lot of search engine optimization here. That's why I'm just kind of like instantly like scrolling down because like there's just like too much of that going. Call of Duty World at War and Infinite Warfare appear included with Game Pass Online. So they started getting some of the Call of Duties there also more. And Tony Hawk Pro Skater also. Available on Game Pass label. More shit, more shit. The Criminal game. Console gaming revenue fell in 2024 thanks to premium game revenue dropping. So basically like 14% drop by premium paid games. So like people buying less of the full price games. Surprise, huh? And I think there was stuff about the other revenues that we'll get there. A Diddly Do Carcour, a new game from developer of the Axis Unseen. Damn, how dank the stuff is going. How's the Axis Unseen going? This is the dank game from the Bethesda developer. So now from this mixed, where it mixed recently actually. It was kind of doing alrighty. So well, I mean, amount of reviews is totally not for ex-Bethesda developer, that's for sure. The quality is kind of alright. I assume people just cry that it's abandoned now. Great concept, poor execution. Interesting ideas. Rarely followed footprints, didn't need to. Right, not molding about the game being abandoned. It was full release, yeah, not early access, so I guess it's just kind of like February 25th there was update, new patch. I mean, not bad, I guess. Still getting somewhere. And now they making the Carcour. Alright. What a path from Bethesda, man. What a path from Bethesda. A bigger and emptier than Skyrim game, yeah. Diddly Do Carcour. A racing game where you do parkour with a car using explosions. Well, I mean, you know, experiencing with different games and genres, why not? Sounds good, huh? Balatro's latest accolade is a surprise appearance in Netflix's Black Mirror. Damn, Balala is that popular. See how it is, huh? Charlie Brooker, the creator, producer, and head writer of Black Mirror, was at one point obsessed with Ballatra, according to an interview did with entertainment outlet Deadline back in August 2024. Alright. It's a game called Ballatra, like poker, and it's possibly the most addictive thing ever created. It's currently on Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck, but it's going to be released on phones, and at that point I think humankind's activity is going to drop about 25%. Play that in short bursts when I'm writing to reward myself. Damn, son. Ballada going places indeed, huh? Oh yeah, there it is. 58% of PC gaming revenue came from microtransactions in 2024. It's like whenever you hear about this, you know, we want to increase the premium prices for the games, you know, $80 stuff, like, bro, you already like over half of your revenue is not even going from you selling the game. So, you know, stop fucking double dipping, brother. 58. Three games led the way for the growth of microtransaction revenue: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Roblox, and Fortnite. Roblox, Fortnite, fine. Free-to-play games, alright, I can understand. But fucking Call of Duty, man, that you already buy for a lot. Like, and this leading the microtransactions. Like, bro. DLC revenue also saw a slight jump of 0.8% to 5.3. What is the total for DLCs though? Jump I see, but like what's the total percent of DLC? I'm also curious. Like how much of the revenue in the end is actually like the game sales? Oh wait, Pipiega accounted for 14% of all the revenue thanks to DLC for Diablo 4, Elden Ring, and World of Warcraft, which are all paid games already. 14% goes from this two. 58 goes from this two. So it's like almost 2/3 of the profits are from not from the main game sales. Like you already like extra monetize your games by a lot. Like dude, trying to be like, oh yeah, we need to adjust for inflation. You already adjusted for fucking inflation plenty, honestly, with all these measures, I tell. Marathon will not require PSN account on other platforms. Alright, but is there a Steam page for it? Damn, son, they're actually gonna even sell in the countries that don't have the PSN. Damn, now okay, fine, now that is something, because like Helldivers, I think they removed the requirement, but you still can't get that shit, right? Yep. Helldivers 2, you can't get. Like, let's say, Last of Us. Only part 1, alright. Horizon. Well, Zero Dawn, I guess you... Oh, not even, alright. Because they remastered the Zero Dawn, and that just removes Horizon for you completely. It's gone now. Thank you. Complete edition you can get though. Damn, actually. Oh, no, I guess that's whatever. So you can get Zero Dawn, but you get Forbidden. You can get Forbidden West though. Huh? What? Oh yeah, maybe because the publisher, yeah. Spudramon, yeah, probably also not there. Yep, the Spider Mole you have though. Damn son. The Peak Gaming now. Now that's games. Who needs your Spider-Man, dude? Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced 3 years ago today, and I forgot it existed. True. Japanese voice for customers in Japan could be because they have like some sort of special some special edition with some things cut out, and that's why they kind of like force people to just stay in this region. Like for example, like Max Payne, I remember I needed to get the global version through the key seller sites because the local Steam version in Russia was basically sold only with Russian. Just because they kind of this way they limit people from buying from another region. So like, all right, fine, you wanted to buy cheap in Russia, well then play in Russian, dude. Nintendo Switch 2 edition games don't come with a download code. It's all on the same cartridge. Everything is on the game cartridge. Everything. So get games box cartridge inside with full upgraded version of the RPG. No code required or included. Okay. This applies to first-party exclusives. Alternatively, some publishers may release Nintendo Switch 2 edition games as download codes in physical packaging with no game card. Alright, so like at least their own games, they're gonna be selling actual cartridges. Oh, same with German editions there too, I see. Nintendo could be selling Switch 2 consoles at a loss in the US, but they can take it. Well, of course they can, dude. But they're not gonna, probably. Switch 2's bill of materials is around $400, meaning Nintendo would still be selling consoles at loss in the US with 10% tariff. But the loss would be something Nintendo would be able to absorb. Sony's in tougher situation as most of its PlayStation production is in China and it may be forced to hike PS5 prices in the US in the near future. Fun times, man. Fun times. Plans for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be variety. I will do some KCD, but I also want to do Promise Mascot, and probably will continue with Lunacid. Probably. There is also Stygian game. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow at the end for a bit. I don't know how to like fit everything in. It's too much stuff, dude. It's so much. We'll see. Stygian the roguelite. Yeah, the one that is releasing. Like I already have it installed and stuff. Like I could play it any moment, but yeah, there's just so much that I'm kind of like just pushing it for now. But since it's released tomorrow, maybe I guess I will then, because I think I already can do it like literally like right now. Pretty much. Think so. Yeah, demo was pretty cool with that one. Yeah, I wonder how much more on top of the demo is in the current version, because yeah, quite a quick early access after the demo, I guess. Which game I start with? I think with Lunacid. I probably will start with Lunacid, into Promise Mascot, into KCD, and maybe into Stygian. We'll see. It's just like a lot of stuff. Like a couple of hours each then, I guess, or something maximum. Almost half of players who quit Overwatch jump to Marvel Rivals. Well, I mean, not really surprising, to be honest. The same audience, after all. Latest Titanfall 3 rumors not real, according to Jeff Grubb. So it wasn't cancelled, eh? Oh, that is the new latest rumors, I guess. Alright. Titanfall 3 is almost complete. This isn't real. I'm sorry, it's not real. Alright. Does he, Titanfall 1 director Steve Fukuda, have something like a prototype that has Titans in it? I would guess so. I don't know for sure, but I would certainly assume that that is a safe thing to think. Is that going to get announced in 2025 and released in 2026? No way. Go for KCD1, experience the roughness firsthand. I mean, I'm playing KCD1 already for like more than 90 hours at this point. So yeah, it's more about, you know, like a bunch of other things that I need to play that I am already playing. And now it's gonna be big IRL streams coming, so I kind of want to fit more things in before they start. Razer is starting to pause its sales in the US over tariffs. Damn, not the Razer. Direct link to Blade 16 configured, now takes you to 404 error page on the US site. Moncase. Not have comments at this stage regarding tariffs. Alright. Let's see, rated essay. Oh, that's Apex for you then, I guess. A new Nintendo GameCube controller not compatible with Switch 2 games, just GameCube classics. I wonder why, like, why not, dude? Why don't make it like remapping and stuff and just allow it to be used that way? I guess it's like the track, was it track bolts or something? No, it's like they wouldn't be like spinning because of this thing, right? There's even the C button still, so why is it not even compatible then, dude? Limited collection of classic GameCube titles. So you're basically just getting the C stick even, yeah. Getting the specific controller just to play some boomer shit, basically. Yeah, featuring new C button. Controller only compatible Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics. That sounds weird, eh? That sounds mega weird, eh? Why not? Activision is aware that bizarre skins are making Call of Duty look stupid, it's claimed. Well, no shit, man. They're talking about showing more restraint with Warzone for skins, bundles, microtransactions. Crossovers are printing money, but they hear the criticism that the game is starting to look stupid. I think they're gonna keep printing money, to be honest. I'm gonna like go full Fortnite in the end. Like, dude, you just join some Fortnite lobby and you see like anything and everyone there. Like, dude, it's insane. Fucking Naruto, John Wick, everyone, man. Warner Brothers Games seemingly gearing up to launch an unannounced IP in 2025, huh? Working as the manager of game design for a new unannounced IP game for Warner Brothers Games that is launching in 2025. Huh? There's gonna be some dog shit there or something, I bet. Or it's gonna be some big surprise then. Like something that they're gonna release already this year, unannounced. Not sure, man. You might want to check Nintendo Switch 2 camera resolutions before you regret your decisions. Oh yeah, that one was interesting. Yeah, so the Piranha Plant camera barely pushes out 640 x 480 resolution. Now this is 2025 camera tech, dude. Like this is probably like my almost 10-year phone is way better than that, dude. The actual camera is 1080p though, at least. But at least the prices are kind of okay. So $50 and $43. But why would you buy this then? Like 640 it's gonna be bad, real bad. Can just connect with a work camera. Yeah, I'm not so sure actually. I'm not so sure actually. Like I really not sure about that. I'm not sure if they mentioned that. Yeah, it's the money, yeah. We'll sell like crazy, yep. True save, true. Yeah, was your flip phone a piranha plant there? Hey, Zodiac. Schedule 1 rival drug dealer simulator says there is no lawsuit amid review bombing and investigation controversy. I'll fuck around and find out there, dude. There is no lawsuit, and it's not the company intention to prevent TVGS from selling or developing their game, Schedule 1. Statement goes on to say investigation is being conducted because of the similarities, and movie games, being a publicly traded company, could face severe litigation for negligence. Simply, shareholders and parties with a vested interest in movie games could take exception to the company's inability to defend its game against perceived copyright infringement. Movie Games believes this led to the media incorrectly labeling the situation as a lawsuit. No ill will toward the TVGS, and they emailed them best wishes shortly before the release. Overwhelmingly negative now. How is that going still? Oof. Still there, man. Still there. Yikes. 10% positive only. Holy. And this actually didn't get filtered by Gaben too, which is interesting actually. Because that kind of would seem like, you know, kind of irrelevant, you know, review bombing sorta. But looks like Gaben didn't cut this actually out. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, so. Thought those were supposed to be filtered, huh? And by Mega Steam system, yep, this one too. This even like dumped the whole reviews in general in mixed. Rip these guys. Algorithm probably not gonna like that. A Minecraft movie sequel already being discussed, says director. Dude, what the fuck is with this one? Like, I've seen, like, there's, like, some fucking chaos happening in the movie theaters and stuff. Like, what the fuck is this, like, modern trends on social media, dude? People just, like, throwing a fucking popcorn around, yelling and stuff. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't seem like, you know, like, out of a genuine excitement. It does seem more like because it became a trend or something at this point. Yes, Dave, yeah. Well, I mean, it does really happen, looks like, but I just don't know what motivates. I guess people just do it to, like, post a TikTok or something in the end, because, like, why would you do that? Why? How it went out of control that hard. A Warzone player count is off the charts as Verdansk exceeds expectations. They've got some old mobs back and people are pumping. The Classic. Time to get Classic everywhere. Introduce Classic everywhere. Game Pass PS Store numbers off the charts. Okay, don't mention the PC though. Can't afford Nintendo Switch 2? Buy a Switch 1, Nintendo says. Ah, thank you. What would I do without your advice? As we look at Nintendo Switch 2 and you think about the feature sets that I talked about, we believe that the pricing is appropriate for the value of the machine and the gameplay experience overall. Recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford Switch 2 price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available, so people still have an opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds, and see value, if you will, in whatever rung of the platform they come in. Yeah, the full quote at least not as bad. Yeah, that's a bit of a bait there. That's a bit of a bait there. Hades 2 launching as Nintendo Switch 2 console exclusive. Yeah, that got people like a little confused there, but yeah, it's console exclusive. So PC version will stay, PC version will get like full release, but on consoles it's gonna be first on Nintendo Switch 2 and not on other consoles. Basically, that's how it is. Hollow Knight Silk Song is coming to the original Nintendo Switch. So yeah, see, you don't need Switch 2 at all. The important game is gonna be on the first one too. Marketing and publishing for Hollow Knight Silk Song recently took to X to clear up the confusion. Hollow Knight Silk Song is coming to both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. There it is. Day 1 on Game Pass still, looks like. Alright. Can't afford it, don't afford it. True. Kingdom Come 2 Hardcore Mode coming next week. There it is. It's happening. Pick your perks, embrace the pain. Action is coming. A bad back, somnambulant, again a numbskull, bashful, sweaty, heavy-footed, punchable face, a hangry. There it is, a menace. And there it is, man. It's happening, it's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing back-to-back though. I'll wait, man. That's gonna be overdose. I still have plenty of first one going. Switch 2's paid tutorial welcome tour almost made the player fall asleep at Nintendo event. Damn, son. Early impressions have not been eye-opening. Gaming YouTuber Jake Randall claimed that someone at the Switch 2 event in New York City almost fell asleep playing it and compared it to an instruction manual with minigames. Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's kind of weird that they charge money for that, though. $10, but still, dude. Why? Why are you charging $10 for the manual? Glorified manual. Let's see, portable, let's see. Ubisoft stock prices fall to a 12-year low amid company uncertainty. I mean, that's expected. People, and like even people inside Ubisoft still have no fucking idea how all this like shenanigan that they are doing will even work, so everyone's just kind of dumping that stuff probably. Like, why would you invest into some company that is right now getting all the most valuable things out of the company being kind of like, you know, sucked out of it? Doesn't sound like a good investment. Phil Spencer is excited about future Xbox handheld plans. I wonder if they show that shit then. teased and talked about handhelds, and I'm very excited because we both travel, and sometimes you can't always take your console or your whole gaming desktop with you. Kinda hard, true. I didn't confirm it. Microsoft is expected to release Xbox branded handheld. We'll see, we'll see. Download and install the entire game again. Damn, that big of a patch. The Nintendo Switch 2 games will cost up to $98 for physical games when converted from euros. Damn, son, what a time to be alive. 90 euro in physical. There it is, man. Well, that we kinda already saw, though. That we already saw. Wait, is it for KCD or is it a Stalker patch again or something there? Oh, this we already seen. Let me check. Gotta check if I missed something you guys posted. Let me see. No, seems I think I got it all.